Jesse L. Jackson Sr. And that was his put away.
Yeah.
So
Well, I just want to offer my condolences,
yeah, of
thoughts,
course.
and prayers for the family, for the Spencer Leak family, for the Leak family. Um, like you, I mean, I don't know that I've seen news reverberate so fast
Mm-hmm.
on a Sunday, no
It was
less.
kind of slow though, because we found out and then I was checking to just verify, and I just wanted it to be a hoax. And it took a
Yeah.
little time to catch
Not
on.
with, I probably got news of it within 10 minutes from four different sources.
Okay.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
But again, like you, my bigger point in mentioning that, it is to say people have had nothing but good things to say, and not because he passed away. There's good things to say,
Right.
things that they genuinely mean.
They go, oh, wow. I
Right.
remember when.
Exactly.
I just saw him a month ago at my friend's father's funeral. He was there. He's always there. And that just brings me to another point. I don't want to, this is not the time, but we will cover this. We want the well wishes to come in at 3:30. But I do want to circle back to your weekend. I mean, did you get some rest? Because think of your body as a phone that hasn't been charged.
Yeah.
If you put it on a charger for 10 minutes, you're not fully charging it. So you got to get your sleep.
Well, LaDonna, Raeh, if I don't, what was I doing when you got here? Never mind.
Getting on my nerves. You didn't want to share those jelly beans. You were taking a nap, but that's not the same. That's like putting your phone on the charger for 20 minutes.
Well, what I mean is I get my rest. I prioritize my rest. And that said, I had a fantastic weekend. And I must make an announcement. Today is my mama's birthday.
Happy birthday, Mama.
Yeah.
Buchanan?
70 Johnson.
Okay.
72 years old.
Oh, yeah.
And just blessed.
How's your mama younger than my mama?
I don't know. She had me when she was like 11.
Okay,
so.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I'm kidding, guys. I'm
happy
kidding.
Birthday to her.
She was 12.
I do wanna say over the weekend, speaking of blessed, because I thought Jehovah's Witnesses came on certain day, not Sunday. They come on Sunday.
I don't know their schedule. I do not know their schedule.
Okay, because they're in service on Saturday.
Well, there is a, what do you call it? A hall?
Yeah, Kingdom
right around
Hall.
Kingdom Hall. There's a Kingdom Hall within walking distance from my house. And every Saturday and every Sunday, their parking lot is full. So I don't know. I thought it was Saturday too. But
what is it, a king takeover?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Listen, it is packed every day of the week, Saturday and Sunday. So I can't tell.
Well, I know one thing. I have a for sale sign in front of my house, and I just knew somebody was coming to look at the house. I ran and got dressed, sprayed my little air freshener, and it was hi. And I was like, oh, hi. And it's recorded on my Ring doorbell. They handed me a pamphlet and they said, do you know about Jesus? And they pointed to the pamphlet that I had in my hand. And I looked and I said, Jesus, where? And they said, Jesus right there on the pamphlet, what I just handed you. I said, this man is white. What are you talking about?
Jesus, where?
The look on her face.
Yeah.
She was like, well, everybody wants Jesus to look like them. I said,
no.
He was in Africa. Like, that's where we came from. How could he have hidden when God told him to go hide if he were lily white like this pamphlet? In fact, everybody in this pamphlet is white. How is it possible that I'm even going to be accepted?
Come on.
With this information.
Jesus where?
It was
that
Jesus wept. Jesus where? For real. But, it's amazing how we have been taught that. Every household that I was in had a white Jesus on the wall. And we just have to really think about the origin of humanity in a scientific sense, and not in what.
Thank you. And that's the most, like you're talking again. What do you call historians, right?
Yeah.
You're talking about history, actual history. You're not talking about your feelings or emotions
or your hopes
in
and
your
dreams.
head. You're like, it was in a place where everybody was dark,
right? With woolly hair. I mean, it said it right there, in the book. Okay.
And so it's amazing that not just what we were taught, but what we accepted for so long. Because
we were young.
I accepted the white Jesus narrative until I don't think I began to question that until maybe 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was at least in my 30s before I even had it questioned to think about it. But up until then, I was certainly conditioned to think about Jesus as white with his, with his cool beard, long flowy hair,
never
right?
getting dirt on his feet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that kind of came to a halt for me when I was asking my then Bible study partner, why do we celebrate pagan holidays when the Bible clearly says not to? We're like cutting down trees, decorating. We're doing the whole nine. And you know what he said to me? Well, you can't take it away from the children. And of course, when I questioned my family, I got popped in the mouth. But we're going to pop this break. It is time for traffic and weather. And when we come back, you're going to hear all about the weekend because I got something to tell you. I got a whole lot to get off my chest right here on WVON 1690, 63 years. Yes, we are still out there and we're still around 60 more years coming your way. We'll be right back.
More from Atiba, Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This is Rufus Williams, and I've got something special for you. I am proud to announce that we're launching the Rufus Williams Travel Club in conjunction with Advantage International. Our first trip, we're staying in the United States and heading to one of the most stunning destinations for culture to cuisine. Join us October 8th through 12th as we explore the charm, the beauty, and the history of Charleston, South Carolina. This isn't your typical getaway. We're walking through history and standing where our stories began. From the roots of Gullah Geechee culture to the International African American Museum, from cobblestone streets to waterfront views. This is more than a trip. It's a cultural vibe. To find out more, visit WVON.com and click the Rufus Williams Travel Club banner. And keep listening for more details. The Rufus Williams Travel Club will turn curiosity into understanding, one destination at a time. We are WVON.
I've tried everything to stand out at work. Donuts, a company coffee blend, even dressed as the company mascot for Halloween.
There's an easier way, a ComEd facility assessment. Their engineer gave my company free insights and actions that saved us $732,000 on energy. Easy, right?
Learn how ComEd can help you save at ComEd.com/facility assessment. ComEd, powering lives. Savings will vary based on customers' usage and rate.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey Alexa, play WVON 1690 AM.
Getting WVON 1690 AM station from iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON.
This report is brought to you by Dairy Queen. For crunch time in no time, get the DQ chicken strip basket with 4 seasoned 100% white meat chicken strips served with fries, Texas toast, and DQ signature country gravy. Get it delivered in a DQ app. Happy tastes good at participating locations.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good Monday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown on 95th, stop and go traffic 29 minutes. I-57, Ryan to I-80, slow go 15 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan to I-80, 94, stop and go traffic 17 minutes. Stevenson, DuSable, Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State, stop and go traffic 42 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolf to Post Office, stop and go traffic 34 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare, stop and go traffic 54 minutes. And Eden's, Montrose, Lake Cook, smooth sailing 15 minutes. Your weather for today, Chicago, mostly cloudy, high of 74 and a low of 55. Tomorrow, sunny, high of 76 and a low of 56. In our city, it's currently 70 degrees and mostly cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690 AM.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for listening to us. Yeah, I was reading a comment there. It says, LaDonna, Google when Ebony put a black Jesus on the cover and thousands threatened to cancel their subscriptions. And I guarantee you those were black folks. Okay. Look, you're listening to the afternoon show with Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh. And yes, we are talking about people that come to your door with pamphlets and it's white folks on it. And nothing against white people, but look, if you do your history, if you do your research, right? They've been around for about between 9 and 13,000 years. Humanity has been around way longer than that. It makes no sense that everyone was just whitewashed and suddenly we were in the sun too long and out came us. They came from us and they're our children and they are fighting back. So what I also wanted to bring to your attention, Atiba, I went to a play on Saturday. It was Celebrity Weekend. I met a celebrity. You want to know who it was?
Who was it?
Shirley Murdoch.
Oh, nice. I'm a big fan. I interviewed her once.
Yeah, I tried. Okay. But I went to the DuSable Museum and I saw As We Lay. And stage play by Miss Celeste Burton. And I interviewed people like Portia Headley, Lorenzo T. Hughes. That's actually my favorite actor is Lorenzo T. Hughes. He had his first role in a comedic role. And because I watched him from the audience, I did not expect him to be funny because he never plays those roles, but he really killed it. I did try to interview Miss Shirley Murdoch, but she was unavailable, even though we were in the same space. She needed time to get ready. But you guys know that song so well, As We Lay. And all I could hear when I heard her speak or perform was As We Lay. So she did a really good job.
Yeah. Then she had the song called Husband.
Yeah. Husband.
Which wasn't about her husband.
Right. I never knew the ding. I never got the ding, but
she was on a roll in 87 or whatever year that
absolutely.
Came out.
Yeah.
But no, she is a phenomenal singer. Still, that's why I want to use the word is. She still is a phenomenal singer. Kelly Price covered As We Lay.
She did, and she killed it.
Yeah, she did a phenomenal job.
Yes.
Wouldn't want to see anybody else do that, but it's really nice that you got a chance to meet her. Let's do this. Let's take Karen's call.
Okay.
And then we can preview the show.
Let's do it.
All right, because we got a great lineup.
Let's do it.
Hey, Miss Karen.
Well, hello. And you know what? Two things sparked me to call in early. Number one, I got to go somewhere, so I want to be able to say this. First of all, Atiba, I want to say birthday happy to your mom.
Thank you.
My mother's birthday was yesterday, and
happy birthday.
Happy
I
birthday.
lost her at age 72. So when you said that, chills went through me. To say, man, go kiss her, call her up, tell her you love her. If I could turn back the hands of time, I would do it. Never really realized how connected a mother is with her children. And when your mother's gone, life takes on a whole different meaning. So birthday happy to your mom. And,
Thank you.
And that's a blessing. You made my day. Another reason why I called, because I want to send a shout out to LaDonna Raeh. Many people that do know me know I'm always looking for young people to be helped. And I'll send out mass texts and whoever offer their help, it's okay. LaDonna Raeh, thank you. You did. Number three, I want to say, of course, send out my condolences to any and everybody who has lost a loved one. But I also want to tell the listening audience this. We come here to lead. Every one of us are going to lead. We just might not know the date, the time, or the moment. Yep. We have cell phones. We have TikTok. We got all kind of ways to say, hey, I love you. Thinking about you today. Let's make it a habit that we do that to one another, that we just text and say, we don't even have to talk. I love you. Because we're all going to leave, you all. We're all going to leave. And one of the greatest things about losing my mother, it was one of the worst things to happen because she left suddenly. But it was also one of the greatest things because it taught me to love in the moment, to tell you what I need to tell you in the moment. So these cell phones and everything else that we can use, let's use it for that. Because everything that was created for good. You just got to figure out when is it good for you. Love you all and everybody. Oh, another thing I want to say, I sent a shout out to Obadeli. For Obadeli understanding business, going to Springfield, coming back, taking his time to talk over the airways what real business is. Once we learn the American business, then you will understand how valuable the politics is that go with it. Love you all and have a great day.
Thank you, Miss Karen. We appreciate you.
I think she's referring to that 5 o'clock deadline for the budget, the state budget yesterday.
Yeah.
And that was brutal. I mean, you saw posts go up everywhere about how people wanted to get their dibs on that $56 billion budget.
I love to see people work, politicians, I should say, working on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Like get that work in every day. It don't matter. Get that work in.
Look, I told you got to get your rest. So as long as
I ain't saying they shouldn't.
Okay.
No, I'm talking about when necessary and it's time to turn up. I'm glad to see that happen. So we had a great show today.
What we got? What we talking about? I don't know.
Well, we just talked about Spencer Leak a little bit ago, but we're going to take a deeper dive, and we got a little help with that. You want to tell them who?
Yeah, of course. Harry Lennox is going to call in and tell us his thoughts and prayers about for the Leak family, and you'll find out that he has a connection to them that you may not have known about.
For those that aren't familiar with the name Harry Lennox,
actor.
He's an actor and most known for, well, not most known, but partially known for his role in the 5 Heartbeats.
Mm-hmm.
But he's done. I mean, he stayed busy, and I didn't know. He loves theater, and he loves theater here in Chicago.
Loves it so much. He's definitely entrenched in it more than you know. He just did what is it called? Ma Rainey's. Yes.
He directed it.
He directed it, absolutely. Yeah. And tragically, the gentleman that played the store owner, am I saying it right?
Record company
owner passed away on
during
the run. So it's all around us.
Yeah.
But we really got to take a moment and just breathe and drink your water. Breathe and drink your water. And we, in this 1 minute, we have to tell you what the rest of the show is about.
Absolutely. So later on, we're going to be speaking to an amazing young man out of Chicago, no less, Dr. Pierre Johnson, aka
the Fibroid Slayer. Yes. Look, I went to him when I thought I had fibroids. That was my second opinion, and I did not have them, thank God. But he can remove a 27-pounder.
Yes, and I think, is that a record?
Yeah, that is a record.
Yeah.
And she still had her baby.
And she was pregnant, right? I'm telling you, this guy is doing great work, again, in Chicago, no less. And before that, LaDonna and I are going to have a conversation. I guess Trump was planning, the White House was planning a big celebration because we are turning 250 years. And they had, booked a musical celebration, booked about 10 artists. But for whatever the reason, and we'll get into that reason later, about half of the artists have canceled. And so this is leading President Trump to just cancel the event altogether and I guess switch gears and do something else. But LaDonna and I have a very interesting take on this, so you don't want to miss our discussion on that. It's straight up at 3:30. We're going to hit this break on time so we have more time with our good friend Harry Lennox on the other side. You're listening to the afternoon show, and I promise you we will be right back.
Hope you're having a marvelous Monday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here's happening in your local and national news. The city is mourning the sudden death of Spencer Leak Jr., Vice President of the historical Leak and Sons Funeral Home. WVON's Annette Flournoy has more.
Spencer Leak Jr. served at Leak & Sons Funeral Homes for more than 45 years. The family has been in business since 1933. Leak & Sons has provided dignified services for historic figures such as singer Sam Cooke, comedian Bernie Mac, and most recently, Spencer himself planned and led from start to finish services for civil rights icon Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr.
I bought a brand new hearse just to take Reverend Jackson choose South Carolina. He's the first to ride in that hearse.
Spencer Leak spoke last February during WVON's live exclusive coverage of the late Reverend Jackson's visitation services at Operation Push.
I've been asked about that in other interviews. Talk about this iconic giant. And I didn't know him like that.
Yes.
I knew him as a father, a grandfather,
right,
an uncle, where me and Joseph and Jonathan and Jesse, along with Harold Ford, he's over there somewhere, Harold Jr., from the Ford family of Memphis, Ramsey Lewis's kids, they live right next door.
Absolutely.
We would all be playing in the backyard. So, I would see Reverend Jackson on TV and doing all the things that he did, but nobody knew about the fact that we were in the backyard playing basketball.
Spencer was known for his common touch. The Leaks have notably and consistently helped families that could not afford funeral services. Spencer Leak Jr. was a close friend to WVON. The Leak family remembers him as a devoted husband to his beloved wife, Donna, of 25 years, a father, a son, and a brother. He was 56 years old. And at Flournoy, Our News Now, 1690 WVON.
In other news, Nothing But Thieves is coming to Chicago. The British rock band announced the Stray Dogs tour on social media with 17 dates planned in North America. The group will perform at the Salt Shed in Chicago on April 11th. Tickets go on sale to the general public June 2nd. In other news, the Spurs and Knicks are gearing up for the NBA Finals. The sides clash in the Game 1 from San Antonio on Wednesday. Victor Wembanyama led his Spurs squad past the defending champion Thunder in 7 games to advance out of the West. Meanwhile, Jalen Brunson spearheaded to the Knicks 4-game sweep over the Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference Finals. San Antonio is seeking its first Larry O'Brien trophy since 2014. While New York hasn't won a title since 1973. In other news, MIA has filed a $2.8 billion lawsuit against Kid Cudi after being removed as an opener from his Rebel Raiders tour. She was reportedly fired following an onstage rant during a May 2nd performance. Kid Cudi said on social media that he asked the management to remove her due to concerns about offensive content and fan complaints. MIA claims she is still owed payment under a Live Nation agreement, regardless of her on-stage remarks. I'm Logan Page, and that's happening in your news now on WVON 1690 AM.
This is Kamini Khan, certified financial planner professional. For the past year, I've been on a mission to change lives and build wealth in our community. Together, we're changing the paradigm. This year, I'm back with a new series, Wealth Strategies, Money Talks. Join me every Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. on the Rufus Williams Show as we have thoughtful discussions around building wealth in our community. We'll discuss topics like investing, savings, tax strategies, retirement, and all things money. Yes, that's Tuesday at 8:30 a.m., so set those alarms. Also, be sure to check out the podcast at WVONwealthshow.com.
Komini Khan is a certified financial planner professional with Optimal Planning Partners in alliance with Equitable Advisors, LLC member SIPC in Oak Brook, Illinois. For more information, please call 630-575-5046.
This report is brought to you by Dairy Queen. For crunch time in no time, get the DQ chicken strip basket with 4 seasoned 100% white meat chicken strips served with fries, Texas toast, and DQ signature country gravy. Get it delivered in a DQ app. Happy tastes good at participating locations.
Calling all nonprofit service providers. If you are an executive director, CEO, or development or program director of a local area nonprofit, this one's for you. Meeting the Moment is hosting its first webinar, Big Bill, Big Impact. What funders need to hear from you to avoid service disruption. Taking place Wednesday, June 10th from 11 a.m. until noon. This virtual session will offer participants direct insight into how funding decisions are being shaped and the critical role communication plays in influencing your outcome. We are convening leaders across government, philanthropy, and research to discuss funding priorities, frontline fundraising realities, and how you should be communicating to keep those resources flowing. Hear from Illinois Congresswoman Delia Ramirez, researcher Xavier Ramey from Justice Informed, Monique Jones, CEO of Forefront, activist and former CEO of the Knight Foundation, Sol Flores, and Chanel Ritchie of LL Communications. It's an action-packed hour of information that will help you navigate this critical time for nonprofits and provide you with tools you need while managing a changing financial landscape. Our Big Bill, Big Impact webinar is free, but you must register at eventbrite.com. For more information about the Meeting the Moment movement, log on to WVON.com/Meeting the Moment. Meeting the Moment is powered by the Chicago Community Trust.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good Monday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown on 95th, stop and go traffic, 27 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolftoe Post Office, stop and go traffic, 43 minutes. I-57, Ryan I-80, slow go, 16 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan I-80, 94, 5-minute delay, 18 minutes. Stevenson, DuSable, Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State, stop and go traffic, 47 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare, bumper to bumper traffic, 1 hour. And Eden's Montrose Lake Cook, smooth sailing, 14 minutes. Weather for today, Chicago, mostly cloudy, high of 74 and a low 55. Tomorrow, sunny, high of 76 and a low of 56. In our city, it's currently 70 degrees and mostly cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690 AM.
WVON traffic and weather. Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
WVON is on the move, and we want you with us. From Blues Fest to Spend in the Black, we've got a full calendar of events across the city, and we're looking for volunteers to join the WVON street team and be a part of the movement. Space is limited, and spots do fill up fast. So sign up today by emailing volunteer@WVON.com. That's volunteer@WVON.com.
All right, guys, you're listening to the afternoon show with Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh on WVON, the Talk of Chicago. And as promised, when we came back from the break, we told you that we would have a very special guest, and we do. He's on the live line. But this segment is duly because of the loss of the life of Spencer Leak Jr., one of the leaders of Chicago's funeral homes, and that is Leak & Sons. He has passed away at 56 years old. His family has confirmed, and that was as of yesterday. Even the House and the Senate stopped the floor while in session to pay a tribute to him in a moment of silence. So on the live line, we have one of our dear Chicago-born actors, directors, and teachers, I'm going to call it, because Harry Lennox, as you know him from from Blacklist, you know him from the 5 Heartbeats, and the list goes on and on. Harry, welcome to the show, and thank you for calling in.
Thank you for having me, LaDonna. I'm looking forward to being able to share a few thoughts and reflections on Spencer, who is my friend, Spencer Leak Jr., and I appreciate you having me on.
Of course. You know, in having someone that is so well known, who has touched the hands of many families and just given them comfort in laying their loved ones to rest with dignity is the word that they used over and over again as a family in these locations that they had for the funeral homes. You too have had a connection with them, with your own family. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yes, well, this is one of those things, I guess, when you grow up in Chicago, you have a couple of different options in terms of funeral homes. My brother died in 2010, unexpectedly, April 27th, if memory serves. The first name that popped into my mind was Leak & Sons. And, I used to pass by the funeral home every day on my way to school. I lived on 77th and Yates, and I would go all the way over to muster. I would look down the street, you would see Leak and Sons, and I just there was the first name that popped into my mind, and I have to tell you that the care, the consideration, the compassion, all of the good words that begin with C was on ready display for the whole family. In fact, it's one of those things, LaDonna, it seems so seamless the way that they walked me through, because I was the member of the family designated to go in and pick up the casket and the consultation with how to arrange the body and all of this. And this was done by Spencer Leak Jr. And I remember I broke down. I was in the room with my good friend Nick Gilley, whose mother, Marcella Gilley, is one of the people I'm naming my Performing Arts Center in Bronzeville after. But he, without saying anything, without needing to say anything, without having to come up with the right words, even though he could, even though I'd seen him do this many times before and many times since, just his being there, just his presence, knowing that the legacy and the longevity and the continuity, 3 generations being represented in him, who was so confident and so capable, you just had this feeling that you were in great care. And I think that that's the greatest value, in addition to the dignity of the service, the solemnity of it, the thoroughness of it. They were there from the moment that we got my brother's, unanimated body over to his home, and to the minute that we put him into the ground. They were there for every step of the way, the whole family. I had the great chance to meet his son, Trey, that is Spencer Leak III. I'm a Trey, by the way, myself. I'm Harry the Third. Mm-hmm. But I had the great pleasure of meeting him at my good friend Leonard Noble's services. I think this was back in March. And, and again, the family is always there. They're always that brand of investment and shareholding and stakeholding in the community. It's something that I think that Chicago is privileged to have known for all these many years. The South Side of Chicago would not be the same without Leak and Sons. And Spencer was an especially affable and cordial. And every time I saw him, it was like homecoming. So I'm just, when I think of him, it's always going to be him and his beautiful wife, family, the whole entirety of them, and it's going to be with them being standing in the gap, if you will, of people as they make these, great transitions in their life, from life with someone they loved to life without them, but going on, having that great sort of memory of how they were laid to rest.
Yeah.
And I hope, I'm sure that the same will be done for him. He is no longer in our presence bodily, but his legacy lives on and through what remains of his family, which is robust and august, and I think we'll be doing this for many generations to come.
Yeah. This is one of those situations where, now who's going to handle the families that are coming through now? Because I think that the 4th generation of their family, they're in college and they're probably preparing for the business as it stands. And this is just speculation. But what do you think younger generations can learn from Spencer Leak Jr.'s life and career?
I think, these days, and I, as I say, I saw Trey, at Brother Leonard's services not long ago, a couple of months ago. And he seemed to be there in the capacity of the family in the 4th generation. We didn't actually talk about it, but I saw him with Leonard's loved ones, and so that tradition seems to be going on. And I hope I'm right in that speculation and prediction. But I think that what can be learned from what has been laid down for the brother is that there's a great tradition, for a great mantle for him to pick up. Particularly in Black America, Black urban America, probably Black America rural as well. Mm-hmm. There's an almost, maybe even not almost, there's a sacred relationship between those people who are funeral directors, mortuary sciences, I guess it's called, technically. But those people who deal with the finality of life, the final things. If I were in my, college robes, I would call it eschatology.
Yeah.
Final causes and endings. And that's a craft, that's a science, and it's an art. And that there's a great tradition that the next generations we should not be ashamed. One feels in this current age, this generation of people coming behind us are trying to break all of the kind of personal traditions that we have. AI is doing so much, computers are doing so much. There's no substitute, though, for a personal relationship. And that is what I hope that the legacy of Spencer Leak Jr., Sr., and the third and the other generations to follow will uphold. And that we have a very, very fine tradition of that on the south side of Chicago with that particular family.
Absolutely.
You've spoken so eloquently, Mr. Lennox. This is Atiba, by the way. Thank you for joining us. We're going to take a very short break. When we come back, I would just, if you could, just get your thoughts together, because my question is simply, what thoughts and sentiments would you like to share with the Leak family at this time? We're going to get that in. We're going to get your response to that right after this break. You're listening to Atiba, LaDonna, Raeh. We'll be right back.
Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
How many hours did you waste in traffic last year? Take control of your commute on Metra. Spend your time relaxing and let us handle the driving. Plus, our 95% on-time rate means we get you there fast. Metra, drive less, do more.
This summer, we're taking our streets back with peace. The faith community of Saint Sabina is calling on the entire city to stand together for the Summer Peace Takeover Friday, June 5th at 7 p.m. Join thousands of Chicagoans for a powerful rally and march for peace featuring special guest, Chicago's own Chance the Rapper. Meet us at Saint Sabina, 1210 West 78th Place, as communities from across the city come together with one message. Enough is enough. Let's uplift our neighborhoods, empower our youth, and show the nation what unity in Chicago looks like. The first 1,000 people will receive free t-shirts. So bring your family, friends, church groups, and neighbors. This isn't just a march, it's a movement. The Summer Peace Takeover, Friday, June 5th at Saint Sabina. Peace starts with us. Chicago, be there.
Tuned in to your favorite WVON personalities on Facebook Live? Don't just watch, like it, love it, share it. Every click helps us grow the conversation and keep the community strong. So remember, like it, love it, share it, Chicago.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Hey Alexa, play WVON 1690 AM.
Getting WVON 1690 AM station from iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON.
This report is brought to you by Dairy Queen. For crunch time in no time, get the DQ chicken strip basket with 4 seasoned 100% white meat chicken strips served with fries, Texas toast, and DQ signature country gravy. Get it delivered in a DQ app. Happy tastes good at participating locations.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good Monday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown on 95th. Stop and go traffic, 29 minutes. I-57, Ryan, I-84 minute delay. 19 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan's I-80 94. There is a traffic stop on the right shoulder. Bishop Ford before 130th Street. 20 minutes. Stevenson, DuSable, Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State. Stop and go traffic. 48 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolf to Post Office. Stop and go traffic. 50 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare. Stop and go traffic an hour. Eisenhower, Wolf to Post Office. 42 minutes. And Eden's, Montrose Lake Cook, Smooth Sailing. 15 minutes. Your weather for today, Chicago. Mostly cloudy, high of 74 and a low of 55. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high of 76 and a low of 56. In our city, it's currently 70 degrees and mostly cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690 AM.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
We are back on the afternoon show, Atiba Buchanan, LaDonna Raeh, about 3:52. We're joined on the live line by actor, producer, director Harry Lennox, Chicago's very own. We claim him, and he claims us, and we appreciate that. Mr. Lennox, right before we had gone to break, I had asked you about any closing thoughts or just words of encouragement you may want to offer to the Leak family at this very difficult time.
Yes, well, thank you. I would like to extend the same heartfelt condolences and sympathies, and frankly, inspiration and solemnity that they extended to me and my family during the time of our loss. And we're going to do that on my side of with my family in the form of prayer and in whatever way that we can continue the legacy going forward. That is this idea of continuity. A family has been around for almost 100 years in Chicago doing this tremendous service for the community. We thank you. That's really how our first was start. Thank you and your family for all that you've done. Thank you for the gift of Spencer for this long time that we've had him. It seems like short years. He was 56 years old, but you know, God can do miracles, and not the same way that we view time. So it's not the length of years, but the quality of those years. And that was great quality indeed. I think he's well represented in what will follow with that family tradition. And finally, you know, I just want to quote one of my favorite scriptures at such a time for the family in 2 Timothy 4, which says, I have fought the good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. Henceforth, there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day, and not to me only, but unto all them that love his appearing, that long for his appearing. And I just want to say that Spencer ran a heck of a course, and he did his job, and we will be standing here in the gap to continue that magnificent and honorable work that he has done so far. So,
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Harry Lennox, everyone. And I really thank you for your helping us honor a man whose work touched so many lives and sharing your story as well. And we'll be looking for you when it comes to Chicago and the performing arts, and especially the Performing Arts Center in Bronzeville. Let's have it. We'll talk soon. All right, guys. Also on the line, we have Reverend Dr. Jeanette Wilson on the line with us. She was the senior advisor to the late Reverend Jesse L. Jackson Sr., and she has come on the line to join us and share her well wishes as well. Welcome to the afternoon show.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So paint a, you know, what would you like to say to the family? Because this is a tough day.
Well, we're part of the Leak family. They have been so close to the Jackson family across the years, and really close to even Dr. King. Spencer Sr. Had, on many occasions drove Dr. King picked him up at the airport and that kind of thing. And then Spencer Jr. is in the tradition of his grandfather, his father. He was a complete servant of the community, and he served his generation. It's like it was his calling that he fulfilled. I mean, his life was cut short, in our opinion, but as Dr. King said, it's not about a long life. It is about the quality of the life that you live. And when I think of Spencer Jr., he did so much for so many. He didn't just bury people for a fee. He served families with dignity and courage without regard to their ability to pay the full price. He provided, on his birthday, he celebrated his birthday raising money to provide coats for people who were homeless or insecure in terms of housing insecure. He thought more of others than he really thought about himself. He was always giving. And yet he was a great dad, he was a great husband, and a community leader. If more people modeled the style of the Leak family, they went from one generation to the next, giving, serving, and caring. And so he will be missed. It's just unimaginable in terms of the timing and the shortness, it appears, of his life. And yet he did so many things, all of them I cannot name.
Absolutely.
And so, and you look at all the families. I mean, what he did in terms of Reverend Jackson's service was beyond the pale. I mean, he just was a giver. That's all I can say. And he cared about Black people, brown people. He cared about Chicago. He cared about his children. He picked his son up from school. He's an amazing, amazing personality. He didn't do a lot of talking. He did a lot of doing.
Mm-hmm. I know that's right. And as a pastor, you've comforted many families. How can the community best honor his memory beyond simply expressing condolences, in your opinion?
Well, I think the community needs to, one, support the family during this time, but not asking a whole bunch of questions that you cannot answer. We don't know why, what happened. It doesn't really matter. Just give them your well wishes and support the Leak family as they have supported so many of us, and give them time to grieve. And there's nothing that you can't explain this. You can't try to figure it out. You're not a doctor. It doesn't matter what you think. What you simply need to do is you pray for their strength, pray for them as they go through this. No parents want to outlive their children. And for his immediate family, his son and daughter and wife, it's kind of a difficult moment. So don't keep calling and asking a whole lot of questions that they cannot answer.
Wow.
Boy, I think everybody should have a friend like you,
Yeah.
Reverend.
I'm a bear.
You just saved that family so much frustration and strife. And every word that you said is absolutely true. That is excellent advice for all of us to heed, to give people their space, give them your heart, and let them process the way they need to process. Because whatever you feel, it's nothing compared to what they feel.
No, and if you got cards or monetary support that you want to get, take it to the funeral home. Don't be trying to find the house. I got to go back. No, you don't need to go back there. You can't hold all of us. But I'm sure the family will at some point have a fund or something that people can support, because they've been given for years to people. When I was at Chicago Public Schools, when they first started having these children that would be murdered in Chicago, that was the first funeral home that we would contact that said, don't worry about the money. We will bury these children with dignity.
Yes.
And so we have to remember that kind of thing. I don't know what ultimately they will do in terms of his memory, but we can do that. Just go back, drop your card off at the funeral home or whatever, your note of thanks to him. And like while we fill the radio with thank you to the Leak family. Thank you, Spencer Jr., for all that you've done that we never said thank you for. Thank you, Donna and the children, for sharing Spencer with us. Thank you. That's all. We can just keep saying thank you.
Well, thank you, Dr. Jeanette C. Wilson Howard. And I want to say, Reverend Dr. Jeanette C. Wilson Howard, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your well wishes and some advice to some people how they can be more supportive in this time of need, because you've had a relationship with this family, and we also send you our condolences as well.
Amen to that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you.
We'll talk to you soon.
And thanks to Melody Span and VON for always being on the case. We are doing a special tribute to the Leak family at Push this Saturday morning on our broadcast. We're dedicating the broadcast to Spencer Jr., and we will have tributes from Jackson family and from the funeral homeowners and from business community, just expressing our thanks and condolences.
We'll be sure to get that information, and we'll go ahead and put it into the atmosphere throughout the week. Thank you so much. No problem. All right, guys, we're going to go to traffic, news, and weather at the top of the hour. When we come back, I got to tell you about a dream that I had, and then we're going to talk about this whole Trump, what do we want to call it, a fiasco? Yeah, you don't want to miss this. We'll be right back.
Happy Monday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here are your news headlines. Illinois schools receive $350 million funding increase. Pools reopening without concession stands. Walgreens robbed at gunpoint. And Billboard Hot 100 Top 10 chart entries. National news from the Black Information Network is up next on Chicago's only urban talk radio station, 1690 AM WVON, Berwyn, Chicago.
I'm Kevin Brown on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network. 3 people are dead, including a child, following a gas explosion and 5-alarm fire that leveled a Dallas, Texas apartment building. Officials with Dallas Fire and Rescue say 2 women and a child were killed in the blast. 4 people are hospitalized, including 1 in critical condition. A search of the site is continuing as several people remain unaccounted for. Rosie Martinez says she's been unable to locate her sister and 1-year-old nephew.
This doesn't feel real to me. It feels like I don't know how to react. I don't know how to act. I just want to see that they're okay.
An 11-year-old boy is accused of attacking another child and pointing a toy gun at police. It happened near 31st and Mingo in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Police said a group of juveniles wearing ski masks stopped a 12-year-old boy who was then shot by a toy gun which fires gel-like balls. The child received several welts. Police Captain Richard Mullenberg told 2 News Oklahoma the situation could have been dire.
A child basically just points his gun at the officer as he's pulling over. Then when the officer gets out of the car, tracks him with the gun even more.
The boys fled but were rounded up, and the suspect was taken into custody on complaints of pointing a dangerous weapon, obstruction, and possession of tobacco by a minor. Attorney Ben Crump has filed a lawsuit against the United States on behalf of families who were targeted for medical experiments. 2 families learned that they were secretly enrolled as test subjects in a National Institute of Health-sponsored experimental RSV vaccine trial in 1965 through 1966. Ross Otto Hambrick and Victor Marcellus King both died in 1967. The new filing alleges that the United States government, through NIH, selected the most vulnerable children it could find, Black infants from low-income families, to test a dangerously high-concentrated experimental vaccine known as Lot 100. The tissue samples from the autopsies of the children informed the development of RSV vaccines, now generating billions in revenue. The deaths of Ross Otto and Victor have never been compensated or acknowledged for the role the infants' deaths played in the role of the vaccine. A California appeals court upheld a ruling in favor of a city that commissioned a Black Lives Matter mural, dismissing a legal challenge from police officers in San Jose who claimed discrimination and harassment. The mural featured images of Assata Shakur and a Black Panther, which the officers found offensive. The court determined that the mural's message of inclusion and support did not constitute harassment or discrimination. The officers' interpretation of the images as racially intimidating was not supported by the court, which affirmed the lower court's decision. For more news impacting the Black community, listen to the Black Information Network on the iHeartRadio app or log on to BINnews.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Black Information Network and on X at Black InfoNet. I'm Kevin Brown on your home for Black News First, the Black Information Network.
You never know who's going to stop by WVON.
We are esteemed and privileged to be joined by R&B legend, the one and only Stephanie Mills.
Good to be talking to you guys.
None other than our Democratic senatorial candidate, Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratt. Lieutenant Governor, welcome back to WVON.
Good morning, Rufus. And you know I'll never be too busy to join you on WVON.
Rep. Justin Pearson is joining us right now via stream.
Thank you so much, man, for having me.
We are the talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
When you see flashing lights on the roadside, it's the law to slow down and move over. Your first move is to ease up on your speed and safely change lanes when possible. Flashing lights are emergency responders, law enforcement, road crews, and even drivers who may be stopped on the roadside, working, or waiting for help. Protect everyone on the road, including drivers like you. Move over. It's the law. It's not a game.
Hey, Alexa, play WVON 1690 AM.
Getting WVON 1690 AM station from iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON.
This report is brought to you by Dairy Queen. For crunch time in no time, get the DQ chicken strip basket with 4 seasoned 100% white meat chicken strips served with fries, Texas toast, and DQ signature country gravy. Get it delivered in a DQ app. Happy tastes good at participating locations.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown on 95th. Stop and go traffic 31 minutes. Bishop Ford Ryan's I-80 94 is at a snail speed 22 minutes. I-57 Ryan's I-80 slow go 17 minutes. Stevenson DuSable Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State. Stop and go traffic 47 minutes. Eisenhower Wolf to Post Office. Stop and go traffic 49 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare. Stop and go traffic 54 minutes. And Eden's Montrose Lake Cook smooth sailing 14 minutes. Weather for today, Chicago, mostly cloudy, high of 74 and a low 55. Tomorrow, sunny, high of 76 and a low of 56. In our city, it's currently 70 degrees and mostly cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690 AM.
From the Xfinity Studios at WVON, it's Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh on Chicago's Essential Storyteller, 1690 WVON.
So I gotta get up early in the morning. So I gotta get up early in the morning.
Oh my gosh. Oh boy. You know what? I gotta get up early in the morning. I gotta go get me some more toiletries. Give me some baby oil, some toothpaste. I got a bunch of stuff to get.
Listen, if Diddy wants to make money, stop selling records. Just sell Diddy oil. Just brand that.
No.
Own it.
Okay, listen. I'm feeling
All
a little
adult-
bit off right now.
All adult stores, they would sell it right in the lube section. Diddy oil.
Listen,
He'd
I know
be a
you guys are
billionaire.
confused as to why we're even talking about this madness, but during the break, some things pop up, including headlines and stories. And we were just talking about how there's a release of a video of your boy Diddy, and it shows how he constructs or orchestrates his
the freak offs.
Yeah, his freak offs.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of baby oil involved.
There's a lot of
lot of BO.
That camera screen.
Yeah. Wow. Amazing.
It was funny. It was hilarious.
But you're listening to the afternoon show. And yes, we just had a tribute to the late, as now we say that, Spencer Leak Jr., who was the vice president of Leak & Sons Funeral Home. He had given over 45 years of service to that conglomerate of a business that was in their family for just over 90 years. And it's funny because I'm with the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce, and we talk a lot about how a lot of businesses are not that long standing in the Black community. But you can go to in someone else's establishment and you'll see since 1930 and since 1918 and ours are like since 2025, So we want to definitely continue to uplift the family, the Leak family, because what they showed us was that they have a unified organization, not just of the funeral homes, but the family itself. I always love it when someone graduates, they'll get a billboard and I'll see it. And I say, wow, that is really amazing. And it's a sweet thing to hear what people had to say about how they have donated and helped the community. So it's not just, they're making so much when it comes to resources, but they are giving resources and providing.
Right. It's not about them just take.
Right.
It is a what's the word I'm looking for? Symbiotic relationship.
I love that. Yes.
Right. It is a symbiotic relationship where yes, the community can go to them for what they need when that time comes.
Right.
But also they give back to the community, not
It's
just in
reciprocated,
resources,
yeah.
but in leadership and in time. And it's just beautiful, all of the testimonies we've heard. Should we have people call the open mic feature?
Yeah, if you go to our WVON app, and if you have not downloaded it already, because it is available and it's free, you can go to the open mic feature and leave your well wishes when you hit the open mic feature and just tell the Leak family what you want them to hear you say. And what we will do is we will download those audibles, and we will conglomerate, or should I say, we will comprise a production where it is a tribute to the Leak family.
Yeah.
So it depends on your participation. And speaking of which,
we got a call. We got to take.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I want to tell this dream really quick, Emmanuel. We see you. I'm not making this up, and I'm glad I told my boyfriend that morning that I had the dream. It was Sunday morning. Saturday night, I dreamt that I was at Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr.'s home. I'd never been inside in real life, but in this dream, it was his home. He was sitting at the dining room table, very traditional wooden table, cherry wood at that. And he saw me, and a lot of people were around him, maybe 6 or 7. And he looked up at me with those big, beautiful eyes, and he doesn't know me. So he got up and walked away, and he was bent over because you could tell he had trouble walking. He went into the next room, and I continued to talk to whoever was there. And I wrote down some questions I wanted to ask him. One was, what is his favorite color? What does he like to eat? And I said, wait, I got to come up with some better questions. And I tucked him away, walked down the hall, saw all these pictures on the wall. There was no room in between any of the frames, because every picture on the wall was either a newspaper clipping, a magazine cover, a magazine article, or a picture of the family or friends, or just all of that was on the walls. Nowhere was there room for anything else. And the carpet was like a light sand color. I walked down the stairs, about 5 or 6 of them, turned right, and there was more memorabilia and pictures. I looked outside. There were beautiful people, were beautifully dressed as if it were Easter, Mother's Day, or church. And I don't know what that was, but I tell you what, the list of questions that I had blew away, and I couldn't get them. And my dream ended, and I told my boyfriend that morning, I said, Zoe, I just had a dream about Reverend Jesse L. Jackson Sr. And he's like, oh, wow. And I told him about it. And then hours later, I get a text message that Spencer Leak Jr. passed away. What is the connection? Well, I'm sitting here thinking, what was that? Because he had just laid to rest Reverend Jesse L. Jackson Sr. 3 months prior. And I mean, he worked tirelessly. What was the message? I'm trying to figure that out. Let's go ahead and take our caller.
Sure. We've got Emmanuel on line 1. Hey, brother Emmanuel, thanks for calling.
Good afternoon. How y'all doing?
Fantastic.
Well. The wonderful words by Harry Lennox and Dr. Janet Wilson will suffice to me. I just would like to extend my condolences to the Spencer Leak family. Though Janet Wilson's words took me back to the time when Medgar Evers was assassinated down there in Mississippi. And WVON was conducting a interview with Myrlie Evers, his wife. I think it was the same day, and it was conducted by Wesley South. Now, Wesley South had the lady on for quite some time, and a caller called in, a woman who was sympathetic and said, why don't y'all let that woman go and rest? You know, she's been through a lot. Mm-hmm. So this was the same way I felt that Dr. Janet Wilson did, that she gave us directions instead of, bum rushing the family and stuff like that. So I thank her for that, and thought I'd give you a little bit of that history from WVON.
Thank you, man. We appreciate that, Brother Emmanuel. We again, very well said, and that is great context adding to the conversation, especially it supports her point about letting people process.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we want to know stuff, and that's really
what happened.
Right. It's just for our
what
own
time was it?
Nosiness.
Yeah.
That's not going to help the situation. It's not going to help them. I have a friend that passed during COVID, and he was very close. He and his wife were very, very dear to me. I still don't know how he passed.
Right.
Right.
But he's still gone.
Right. He's still gone.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Right. I don't need to know the details. I know he's gone and I miss him.
Yeah.
Beyond that, what does it matter?
Exactly.
Right.
But were you there for them? The one thing I like to tell people when I find out that they've lost someone is, let me know if you need me.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Sorry for your loss. I mean, come on. We can be, but they need more than that.
Let me know if I can support you.
Yeah. Let me know how I can support you.
Brother Chris, sit tight. We're going to take a real quick break. Atiba, LaDonna, Raeh will be right back.
More from Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Catch Reverend Al Sharpton online at WVON.com or on the WVON app. Just click the Al Sharpton banner. Tune in every day at 12 noon for your daily dose. And if you miss it, catch the overnight replay from midnight to 3 a.m. We're keeping it real with Al Sharpton on WVON 1690.
Reverend Al told you personally, keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real.
Yo, fellas, when was the last time you checked in with you? We're bringing the barbershop talk to the airwaves. It's time to get real about our wellness, identity, and what it means to feel good from the inside out. The Groomer Room is back, a no-fluff radio series made for the fellas, by the fellas. We're talking health, hustle, healing, and everything in between. No filters, no judgment. Real conversations that hit home, whether you're grinding, growing, or just trying to figure it all out. This space is for you. Listen weekly on Thursdays from June 4th to June 26th. It will be hosted by Matt McGill, Atiba Buchanan, and Rufus Williams. Only on the station that brings you what's now and what's next. 1690 WVON, the Groomer Room, where the real ones pull up.
Hey Alexa, play WVON 1690 AM.
Getting WVON 1690 AM station from iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON.
This report is brought to you by Dairy Queen. For crunch time in no time, get the DQ chicken strip basket with 4 seasoned 100% white meat chicken strips served with fries, Texas toast, and DQ signature country gravy. Get it delivered in a DQ app. Happy tastes good at participating locations.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good Monday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown on 95th. Stop and go traffic, 29 minutes. I-57, Ryan, I-80, 2-minute delay, 17 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan, I-80, 94, stop and go traffic, 25 minutes. Stevenson, DuSable, Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State, stop and go traffic, 48 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolf to Post Office, bumper to bumper traffic, 52 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare, stop and go traffic, 59 minutes. And Eden's, Montrose Lake Cook, smooth sailing, 15 minutes. Your weather for today, Chicago, mostly cloudy, high of 74. and a low 55. Tomorrow, sunny, high of 76 and a low of 56. In our city, it's currently 70 degrees and mostly cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690 AM.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
For the lover in you, this ring means I'll always be true. This is I will start over new. This time it's gonna last forever. I trust you, yes I do.
You need to trust that I got WVON tickets to the Blues Fest, guys. WVON is your ticket to the Chicago Blues Festival. Be the 8th and are we doing 2 at the same time?
Yeah.
You want to do 2?
Yeah,
All
we can do it.
Let me see. Let's do 8 and 11. Caller number 8 and 11 right now, 773-591-1690 to win a pair of tickets for Friday, June 6th in Millennium Park, celebrating 75 years of Billy Branch with Kenny Neal and Ronnie Baker Brooks. Keep listening for more chances to win. Brought to you by Mayor Brandon Johnson and Department of Cultural Affairs and Special Events. Let's get those phone lines lit. 773-591-1690, 8th and 11th caller.
All right, guys, win those tickets right now. Listen, it is 4:22. We are back on the afternoon show, and the conversation is flowing. It's kind of organic. We do have something that we need to introduce to you guys, but as you guys call in, presumably about the Leak family, we want to give you an opportunity to get those well wishes out. But we're taking calls. We're like Matt McGill. Whatever y'all want to talk about, we are here to talk about today. Brother Chris, I think you were the first caller. How you doing, man? And thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, family. Miss LaDonna, Brother Atiba.
Yes, sir.
Also, Shirley Murdoch was on Computer Love.
Absolutely.
She sure
Absolutely.
was.
So let's not sleep on that. And I wanted to give love and admiration to the Leak family. I mean, their contribution is, you can't even can't put it on a scale and weigh it. Let's just say that. The way they handled Reverend Jackson's situation, and then when you saw the state trooper wash the windows, you saw them give some of the states give him, where they followed them and flashed the lights and stuff like that. The way they handled that from the beginning to the end, and even that still brings tears to my eyes when you saw kind of like an end of an era going down Cottage Grove, just gave me goosebumps. And, but also my family lost a dear friend Saturday morning. He was killed at work.
So sorry for your loss.
No, I'm sorry.
On the person that was patching potholes on 294, Calvin Holly, was hit by a drunk driver in his 70s and killed him. And the other 2 workers are, barely hanging on. So, but, the WVON family can send some prayers to that family. We've been knowing them since like 1990, and we normally, play ball with the younger brother, but the other brother was around too. So, but the Leak family, like I said, just how they handled that situation, and you hear how they help people in need and stuff like that. Chicago institution, and I hope the father, can recover because Obadelli stated he wasn't doing, too well health-wise. So, love and courage to their family. But like I said, when you see Reverend Jackson going down Cottage Grove, for the last time, it kind of hits you.
Yeah.
So
Shout
out to the WVON family.
Yes.
And thank y'all.
Thank you, Brother Chris. All right, let's go ahead and take Marguerite. Marguerite, you're live on WVON. Are you? Let me see.
Yes, and thank you, Sister LaDonna, for taking my call, and Brother Atiba. And hello to the WVON family. And my love and condolences to you, the Leak family. And thank you, WVON, for having this sign of condolences for the passing of Spencer Lee Jr. today and on your program now. And to you, Chris, too, for the loss of your friend.
Mm-hmm.
That's been being reported on the news, and I'm sorry to those families that are affected as well. And LaDonna, I think I can help you with your dream. Like Joseph was the interpreter.
Yeah.
He was so misunderstood all his life. And I feel so much of that because Attorney Jeanette Wilson was a high school student at Harlan High School where my mother taught. And when I introduced myself to her as a member, as a volunteer at Operation Push the summer of 2012 at their convention, the summer of 2013, the first thing she said to me was so true because I used to sit in those classrooms, my mother's classrooms at Harlan High. So she truly understands the Joseph in me. And I feel I have that gift that Joseph was given by God because that was God speaking to you, letting you know what was yet to be. I have the newspaper called Super Value Shopper. And in it, there are many ads of many different businesses. There's the getcoveredillinois.gov. There are many restaurants, businesses, some in Chicago, Hyde Park, South Side, Beverly, and a lot in the South suburbs. In one ad, the only ad of a funeral home that's in it is that of A.R. Leak. It's a half-page ad, Leak & Son Funeral Homes. And I looked at it about a few days ago, this past Wednesday, Thursday, and I said, I need to be the photographer for the Leak family because this is a big family photo. And in the picture, Spencer Leak, the third, maybe fifth or sixth grade, and he's graduated from Morehouse College now. And I said, I need to be the photographer for the family because they need an update photograph. That was just Wednesday, Thursday, I said to myself. And now I'm too late to take that family photograph of them now with Spencer in it because he's prominently in the photo, standing behind his son next to his wife, and she's standing behind her daughter, and the whole family's there. And that was God speaking to me. Now it's too late for me to do that, but he's still with us in heaven. And so the way I feel now about that photograph that I'm looking at now that I wish I could have been around to take a new one for them for, and the dream you had was God speaking to us about what he knew was yet to be for Spencer Jr. He was my student at Kenwood High School. I'm also a Kenwood graduate. His son is a Kenwood graduate. Spencer's a Kenwood graduate. He was the sweetest kid there. I was substituting for Mr. Swikowski, the math teacher, and Spencer was in the class. And I addressed him. I said, do you know who you are? He said, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And each time I go to the funeral home, I'd always tease him about seeing him there in the classroom. He was on his commercials would run on WVON about how many people felt he didn't have what it took to be a mortician, and yet he proved it wrong.
And
his wife would come on WVON for the Teacher of the Month, I think.
Yeah,
as the superintendent of a school district. Love to the whole family.
Nice.
They touched us all. His father, the history tells us, was Spencer Leak Sr. In high school, a chauffeur for Dr. King. When he was a high school student, he would chauffeur Dr. King here in Chicago.
Well, Miss
Man, you got some
Marguerite,
history.
I'll just hang up and let you all continue with the tributes. And thank you to all who called and all who will.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's beautiful. All right. You know what? I got the Blues Fest winner sheet here, and they are still on the line. Let's get them real quick.
Yeah, we've got Benita Jefferson. We're gonna lock you in.
You got to
and
put
then
me on.
Amos Purdue. Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations.
Amos, let me go to the man first for a change.
Why you want
Brother,
to
is this your first time winning anything on the radio?
Yes, sir. It's the first time ever.
Well, you picked the best time. Amen to that.
Right.
And congratulations. Hey, Miss Jefferson, how are you?
Oh, I am blessed.
I feel like you've won things on the radio like 5 or 6 times.
Not quite, but I have won something with Attorney Ted London before.
I knew it. I could tell in y'all voices.
You know why? Because she's moving on up.
Hey.
That's right. That's right.
Are you guys big blues fans?
Oh, definitely. I'm looking forward to getting into the Coco Taylor mood.
Come on, now y'all getting me. Now you getting me excited, Miss Benita. What about you, Mr. Purdue?
Yeah, I love some blues, Muddy Waters and Howard Wolf, and I love some good blues.
My goodness, guys, we just want to say congratulations. Thank you for listening.
He sounds
Thank
like a
you
blues man.
He does. He does. We appreciate you guys listening and participating, and we're so glad to be giving you two the tickets because I want to get these 6 people that's going to appreciate it.
Yeah.
Right? I ain't going to even lie. And it sounds like you two are definitely going to appreciate being there. I'll be there Saturday. And so look for me on Saturday at the WVON table. I will be there meeting and greeting.
On the same day.
You going to be there Saturday?
I can't go Saturday.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to be there Saturday.
Why can't we go Sunday?
I don't like going Sunday. That's the Sabbath.
Since when for you?
Yeah. Guys, thank you so much and congratulations again.
All right.
Thank you.
All right,
guys, we're going to go to news, traffic, and weather. When we come back, we're going to talk about that Trump situation with the 10 artists, and some of them dropped out. You know the story right here on WVON 1690.
More from Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Thank you, Barack and Michelle Obama, for bringing your gift to the world home to Chicago. The Obama Presidential Center, coming Juneteenth weekend. Witness a celebration of the power of hope and possibility. We're WVON.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Time is up. The IRS is in full collection mode for 2025, issuing liens, levies, and garnishments to anyone who has a past tax debt or unfiled tax returns. Don't wait till it's too late. Your paycheck and bank accounts are at risk of being seized. Call now and stop the collection process today. If you're living check to check, no matter how much you're making, you still may qualify for the Fresh Start programs offered by the IRS to reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. It's just a 5-minute call to get your options, and it's free. If you owe back taxes, have years of unfiled tax returns, under audit, have a wage or bank levy, or finally just want to sleep better, business or personal, call the experts at Republic Tax Relief while there's still time. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and tough. This veteran-owned company has the fight you need to take on the IRS. Don't go at it alone. The call is free. Call their hotline number now, 800-259-4546. That's 800-259-4546. Find out if you qualify today. Call 800-259-4546 or go to republictaxrelief.com.
This is Kamini Khan, certified financial planner professional. For the past year, I've been on a mission to change lives and build wealth in our community. Together, we're changing the paradigm. This year, I'm back with a new series, Wealth Strategies, Money Talks. Join me every Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. on the Rufus Williams Show as we have thoughtful discussions around building wealth in our community. We'll discuss topics like investing, savings, tax strategies, retirement, and all things money. Yes, that's Tuesday at 8:30 a.m., so set those alarms. Also, be sure to check out the podcast at WVONwealthshow.com.
Komini Khan is a certified financial planner professional with Optimal Planning Partners in alliance with Equitable Advisors, LLC member SIPC in Oak Brook, Illinois. For more information, please call 630-575-5046.
This report is brought to you by Dairy Queen. For crunch time in no time, get the DQ chicken strip basket with 4 seasoned 100% white meat chicken strips served with fries, Texas toast, and DQ signature country gravy. Get it delivered in a DQ app. Happy tastes good at participating locations.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good Monday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here's happening in your local and national news. Illinois lawmakers approved a budget that provides more than $10.8 billion for K-12 education, including a $350 million increase in evidence-based funding and the restoration of $47 million in property tax relief grants. The plan also boosts funding for student transportation and free school meal programs. Education advocates said the increase is a positive step, but still falls short of what many underfunded districts need. State officials estimate about $3 billion more is needed to bring all school districts to at least 90% of their funding adequacy targets. In other news, Elmhurst Park districts, Smalley and East End pools are without concession stands this summer. prompting officials to allow outside food and non-alcoholic beverages in designated dining areas. The district was unable to find a vendor for the season, leading to this accommodation. Guests can bring their own food and use online delivery services, with containers and coolers subject to inspection for safety. Alcohol in glass containers are prohibited at the pools. In other news, police are investigating an armed robbery of a Walgreens store in Chicago's Logan Square neighborhood. Police say that before 5 a.m. Monday morning, 2 men entered the Walgreens on North Milwaukee Avenue and brandished a gun before fleeing with cash. No injuries were reported, and no arrests have been made.
Hey, buried alive, someone come dig me up. If I call up your shorty right now, she picking up.
And this week's top 10 songs on the Billboard Hot 100 are out now. Janice STFU by Drake is number 1, marking its second time at the top since its release. Ella Langley's Choosing Texas returned to the second spot. Langley's other song, Be Her, is number 3. Olivia Rodrigo, Olivia Dean, and Bruno Mars are also part of the top 10. I'm Logan Page, and that's happening in your news now on WVON 1690 AM.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
At a loss for words. Do you remember this song? These are not the original lyrics. See, he did not say originally, I'm at a loss for words. It came back and they had an updated set of lyrics. I don't know why that happened, but I do remember when it happened. You're listening to WVON 1690. Am I talking? Hello?
Hey, I was you was in it.
You didn't respond though.
Because you started reading the thing right away.
You know what? I'm starting to feel some kind of way because, ladies, do you ever talk to a gentleman, any man, and they just don't, Logan, you can attest to this. You ever have a conversation with yourself and they just keep acting like they don't hear what you're saying? And then you try to jump back and they're like, I heard you, but how do you know that? Just turn her mic on.
Logan's
please.
not listening either.
Yeah, Logan's listening. I'm looking at
Nobody's
her.
listening.
Is her mic on? Where's Logan?
She's not listening.
It's on now. It's on now.
Yeah, it's on. Okay, Logan, have you ever had that issue?
I've had that happen with my man before, but
She said my man. I'm over here talking about boyfriend, and I'm older than her. Let me straighten that up. And then what happened? How did it end?
It'll just end as I'm talking to my man and he'll say he heard what I said, and then he won't really want to say what I said and be like, I definitely heard you though. You know?
Because he didn't hear you. You know what? We're gonna do a rally. Okay, me and you, we're gonna get started. All the ladies out there that feel ignored, join us. Just email Atiba. Okay.
We love you, Atiba, though.
That's right. That's right. Thank you, Atiba. Well, look, thank you so much for tuning in with us. Now, I'm sure you've heard, I know that we're just trumped out. Okay. I normally don't say his name, but in this situation, you have the headline, Atiba. Why don't you let everybody know what we're talking about?
Yeah, I'm gonna jump ahead just a little bit because there's been developments, and then we'll circle back.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, the BBC is reporting, the byline reads, quote, cancel it. Trump says after artists drop out of U.S. Freedom 250 Festival, because we turned 250 years. We was started in 1976, right?
USD.
The United States,
right.
yes.
Okay.
So as it stands, there were a bunch of artists that were slated to perform at this 250th celebration. As I understand it, when they were initially pitched, it was just a celebration to celebrate America's 250 years. As the event drew closer, they began to understand that it was MAGA backed specifically. And thus, some artists dropped out. Let's see. Martina McBride, she dropped out. The Commodores dropped out. Young MC dropped out. Bret Michaels dropped out. That's 4 of the 9. Who's left? Oh, I don't know. Vanilla Ice.
He should have stayed in.
And the one surviving member of Milli Vanilli.
I'm sorry.
So just that they even asked them. Let's see, and it looks like Flo Rida is also still scheduled.
Where's he been? He better
Yeah, I
stay
know.
in.
So he's scheduled to perform at a Make America Great Again rally
Mhm.
in July. On July, I don't know, but nonetheless,
What was the name of this?
America Freedom 250 initially,
Right.
and then America. I think it was America, and then it became Freedom 250.
Okay.
And once it began to take
All
a
the black
political
folks thought they
leaning,
were going to be free after that
right,
show.
right. And so, these are groups that dropped out. Now I'm looking at all the good people. It seems like dropped out because the Time still gives a great show.
What good people?
The Time, Morris Day and the Time.
Okay, that would have been good.
Yeah, and they're not even listed on this list. But yeah, so you got the Time. They dropped out. They did the walk right on out of the building. Young MC busted a move. He left.
It's the only thing he busted though is a move.
The Commodore said, "This is easy."
Good. I like that. Good job.
It's an easy decision for them to make. I don't know Martina McBride's songs, and I thought Bret Michaels was a wrestler, so I didn't even know who he was. But we have a larger conversation. We're bringing this up because as LaDonna and I were talking about it, we had just, almost polar opposite points of view, and I thought it worthy of a discussion. My opinion is that the artists that dropped out once they saw that it had a certain political leaning, a certain political bent that they were uncomfortable with, I get it. I support their ability to do that because they knew who the president was and they were asked to do it. So it's not as if it was like, who, Trump? No, they knew who was asking from jump. It was only when, according to them, now this is their press releases, that it began to take on a political nature that they decided to drop out. But again, I fully support their ability to do that. Not all money is good money. We saw this with Chrisette Michele. She was one of the first people to be almost canceled for supporting Trump. I think that was in his first term. She wasn't supporting him. She just agreed to perform at something that she was asked to perform
As she should have.
Right? You're going to get your turn.
It is my turn.
Hold on a second.
You own one today.
I am.
I'll tell you, such a misogynist today.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
I never get called that, by the way.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Actually, it's refreshing. So that being said, though, LaDonna has a different point of view. I say let him keep his money. When we look at, again, what is happening with Black folks across this country, people love our rhythm and hate our blues. And so when you have a purposeful and intentional dismantling of every Black institution, every Black accomplishment, when we can't even keep our names on military memorials, right? Those things are snatched up. When you look at the all-out assault on our history and on our purpose and on our contribution, then by all means, then I support those artists, in particular the Commodores, Young MC, and the Time, for deciding to drop out. Because when it's time for the Time to go do a concert, you know who's there supporting them? We are. You know who's there supporting the Commodores? We are. So you tell me why I'd love to hear from you, Miss LaDonna, why they should have taken that money.
Should have taken that money. The way you frame it is like they were doing something that they were demoralizing themselves to do. Am I saying that right? You know what I mean. And here's the thing: even when Chrisette Michele performed for Trump, she's a performer and she gets paid to perform. I can see if these people were volunteering to perform for Trump and charging Black people. But what they're doing is they're getting paid to perform. Now, had they had all country singers and white singers, we'd have something to say about that. When they made Jesus Black on, what did he say, on Ebony or Jet? It was one of the comment that we saw earlier. Mm-hmm. Black folks were like, oh, heck, I'm going to cancel my subscription. We really have to make up our mind because, see, we will gladly take the money out of our pockets. You know what I'm saying? We'll go out and earn it. work hard, don't see our kids, go get that bag, and we'll hand them our paychecks on Friday. It doesn't last long because we got to have the comforts and the convenience and all the things that our children never had because we have to prove a point bill, right? And we don't give it to each other, we give it to them.
Who's them?
Them.
Who's them?
The white folks, okay? Other than our community.
Why do we give them the? I don't understand.
Well, we give them our money because we don't have the businesses to sustain the things that we need and want. We can't accommodate all of that. So when we do that, don't forget when you drive on those roads and pay your taxes, all your tax money goes into their pockets when we don't get access to those contracts. Now let's go back to these performers. When they get up on that stage for Trump, MAGA, Obama, whoever, they get paid to perform, and then they can take that paycheck and put it back into their community. But if they drop out, they won't get the money to put back into their community. So they could take money from us, but we can't take money from them. I'm sorry, but you're not selling yourself out. You're on stage doing what you do. You perform. That's what you do. You're not up there saying, when I say MAGA, you say go. You're up there performing your music, your artistry. You're getting paid to do so. Snoop Dogg did it. You know what I'm saying?
He did do it, much to the chagrin of a lot of folk.
Yeah.
He had to DJ himself. He couldn't even get a DJ behind him.
I don't know what that was about.
So yeah,
but he got paid.
He did,
and that money went back. You know,
so
he has
the
his
ends
football
justify
game.
the means.
Right? Absolutely.
Yeah,
Get
I don't
that
think
money.
So. What does it gain a man to profit the whole world and lose his soul? That scripture has to count.
How are you losing your soul?
For something.
How are you losing your soul performing on stage, doing what you do?
I will tell you at 4:53.
You know what? You know what, guys? This is a strange Monday for me. Only because I'm sitting across from.
You're not used to me cracking jokes like this.
No, I'm not. It's usually me. All right, guys. We'll be right back. Traffic and weather, and we'll be back.
More from Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Calling all nonprofit service providers. If you are an executive director, CEO, or development or program director of a local area nonprofit, this one's for you. Meeting the Moment is hosting its first webinar, Big Bill, Big Impact. What funders need to hear from you to avoid service disruption. Taking place Wednesday, June 10th from 11 a.m. until noon. This virtual session will offer participants direct insight into how funding decisions are being shaped and the critical role communication plays in influencing your outcome. We are convening leaders across government, philanthropy, and research to discuss funding priorities, frontline fundraising realities, and how you should be communicating to keep those resources flowing. Hear from Illinois Congresswoman Delia Ramirez, researcher Xavier Ramey from Justice Informed, Monique Jones, CEO of Forefront, activist and former CEO of the Knight Foundation, Sol Flores, and Chanel Ritchie of LL Communications. It's an action-packed hour of information that will help you navigate this critical time for nonprofits and provide you with tools you need while managing a changing financial landscape. Our Big Bill, Big Impact webinar is free, but you must register at eventbrite.com. For more information about the Meeting the Moment movement, log on to WVON.com/Meeting the Moment. Meeting the Moment is powered by the Chicago Community Trust.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom, water in the sinks overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Time is up. The IRS is in full collection mode for 2025, issuing liens, levies, and garnishments to anyone who has a past tax debt or unfiled tax returns. Don't wait till it's too late. Your paycheck and bank accounts are at risk of being seized. Call now and stop the collection process today. If you're living check to check, no matter how much you're making, you still may qualify for the Fresh Start programs offered by the IRS to reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. It's just a 5-minute call to get your options, and it's free. If you owe back taxes, have years of unfiled tax returns, under computer audit, have a wage or bank levy, or finally just want to sleep better. Business or personal, call the experts at Republic Tax Relief while there's still time. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and tough. This veteran-owned company has the fight you need to take on the IRS. Don't go at it alone. The call is free. Call their hotline number now, 800-259-4546. That's 800-259-4546. Find out if you qualify today. Call 800-259-4546 or go to republictaxrelief.com.
Hey, Alexa, play WVON 1690 AM.
Getting WVON 1690 AM station from iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON.
This report is brought to you by Dairy Queen. For crunch time and no time, get the DQ chicken strip basket with 4 seasoned 100% white meat chicken strips served with fries, Texas toast, and DQ signature country gravy. Get it delivered in a DQ app. Happy tastes good at participating locations.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good Monday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown on 95th, stop and go traffic 36 minutes. I-57, Ryan to I-80, 1 minute delay, 16 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan to I-80, 94, stop and go traffic 23 minutes. Stevenson, DuSable, Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State, slow go 49 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolf to Post Office, please be cautious, there is an accident. Eisenhower at Cicero Avenue, 49 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare, bumper to bumper traffic 1 hour. And Eden's Montrose Lake Cook smooth sailing, 15 minutes. The weather for today, Chicago mostly cloudy, high of 74 and a low of 55. Tomorrow, sunny, high of 76 and a low of 56. In our city, it's currently 70 degrees and cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690 AM.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
What you doing? You know what you doing, boy. Oh, wow. Man. Commodores. Let's do it.
Now he's being a misogynist. I can't even get my mic on. Okay. All right, guys. WVON 1690. You know what? Calling all nonprofit leaders. Where you at? You guys, you know who you are. Don't miss Big Bill, Big Impact, a free Meeting the Moment webinar happening Wednesday, June 10th from 11 a.m. to noon. Funding priorities and communication strategies to help nonprofits avoid service disruption. Register now at eventbrite.com. Meeting the Moment is powered by the Chicago Community Trust. Wait a minute, I think you can go to our website and get there too. So if you go there and go to events, you'll see that very same event. Let me make sure you can click on it. I'm checking. You don't have to be quiet while you've never been quiet any other time. My goodness.
Guys, silent. While she's checking, we are listening to the afternoon show, and we got a bank full of calls, and we want to take as many as possible. We're going to start them in the order in which they came. That means G, you are up first. Thank you for calling the afternoon show.
Okay. I hope y'all having a good day and whatnot, but I agree with both of y'all.
Yeah.
I agree with LaDonna because she says it's an immediate need and maybe some cash can go back in. But I agree with you too, man. The reason I agree with you is because I think it's making a greater statement, not just taking care of a few people with some minor dollars, if they even get them. However, but the statement that it's going to make worldwide, I think is a little bit greater, and the statement that it makes as far as, man, we ain't going to be like, you can get rid of 1 million jobs that black people once had and grandkids and struggling and everything like that, and then we go entertain you on top of it. Come on, dog.
But see,
can't do that. That's the jangle crap.
No. See, we gotta stop thinking that way. I'm not trying to change anybody's thinking, but watch this. With 300,000 women that were unemployed last year, and they fell off, by the way, because 6 months later, you are not even included in those numbers. if you don't have a business to put people into so they can work there, then you can't help them. And you can't do it without any money. If we have funding that we are working for and we're not putting it and investing it back into our own corporations, because just like I look at the fact that we boycotted Target only to go to Walmart. What is the alternative? You know what I'm saying? We make a statement. The statement has been made. We don't earn as much and we don't have as much in our community. So we got to go get it. Who's next?
All right. Thank you, Brother G. We appreciate you. Let's squeeze in Susan. Hey, Susan. Thanks for calling.
Hey, guys. I definitely agree with the last caller. What does it say worldwide? It's not enough money for this little paltry one concert to actually, garner and replace a whole job that's been lost. So it's not worth it in that regard. I want you all to remember Eartha Kitt. Remember Eartha Kitt got canceled?
Yep.
Remember we had the Red Scare and all those actors that got canceled who they thought were communists who really even weren't, but it was a hint and a whisper, and they lost their career either permanently or for decades. They're trying to avoid that. I'm sure there's some political stance that's there too. They don't want to be canceled. And this is the thing though, LaDonna, you're talking about the money. This is one issue, one time that's going to possibly have all the other opportunities for you to get paid. Now stop. So you get this one, 10,000, 25,000, whatever the heck the price is. And all those other opportunities, that show, that TV show, that sitcom, that play, that concert, all gone because they don't want to touch you with a 10-foot pole.
So you're saying that they would risk getting canceled because they perform for the president of the United States?
Chrisette Michelle, absolutely.
Who canceled Chrisette Michelle?
Of the United States.
I'm asking you, who canceled Chrisette? Was it us or was it America?
Us.
It was us.
But that's who goes to see Chrisette Michelle.
I understand that, but at the same time, we need to really sit down and rethink this thing. It's okay for us to hand
because we don't agree with his politics.
No, we don't have to. We don't with his politics. That's not agreeing with his politics. What that is doing is. So how do we? Let me ask you a question. How do we get our money back? How do we get the money that we've given them? How do we get the money that we've invested and sent? Like me,
we don't get it back in a concert. I can tell you how we don't get it back.
Look. I'm not gonna make fun. I'm not gonna make fun of this little $10,000. I'm saying that the money that we turn down as a whole collectively, we have to take that money and we have to place it where it needs to go. We need to start playing chess. Period. So we can't keep canceling people because they're not on one side of things. We have to look at what they're doing. Look at Snoop Dogg. He has his boys' football camp. We know what he's doing. He has put money into those boys' uniforms, the whole nine. We know when he goes out to perform or does something that some of his money is going towards his organization.
Snoop Dogg's net worth is $160 million.
I get it, but guess what? He didn't turn it down either. I'm not saying that.
He got the $700,000.
I'm not saying that we have to do we have to become Sambo or we have to become something less than what we are. I'm saying that if we are performers, where's the line drawn between performing and politics?
300,000 black jobs. That's just the women.
And who hired them?
That's the women.
Who has somewhere to hire them to come to?
Susan, thank you for your call.
Who can hire them? Can we hire them? Where's my number?
Yes, we can.
Okay, where?
So my point is,
where have they gone?
My point is, LaDonna, that again, you have to look at the long term. You talk about playing chess. Okay, we can play chess. If each one of these artists came out that dropped out and said, no, we're not performing, and here's why, because you get to do this, it's no different than getting the young men and women to not play in the SEC, right? Because they get to make how much you can't calculate the money these colleges make off of black bodies, right? And we're going, and so when they need to be entertained, when they need somebody to sing, when they need somebody to tackle, when they need somebody to dunk, then we're the first in line. When it's time for somebody to be hired, we're the last looked at.
Okay,
when it's time for somebody to be fired, we're the first ones to go.
Hold on, but what if you're being hired to sing? That's what you do.
I'm talking about the community, not one person.
I understand what you're saying, but if somebody sings, they're being hired, correct?
Okay, that's one job.
I understand.
That does not
and
offset
that's
300,000 jobs.
Nothing can offset those 300
Yes,
jobs
it can.
except for those 300,000 jobs to get put back.
And that's what you advocate for.
Okay, well, we can advocate for it, but have we advocated for it? How have we advocated for it effectively? Where's our project and agenda?
Okay,
Where is it?
That ain't got nothing to do with what we're talking about. Hold that thought.
Oh, now
we'll
it's
talk
not.
about
It has nothing to do with it.
because that doesn't mean that even if those things aren't laid out, does not mean that those people should take that money. So
what should they do?
Hold that thought.
No
what
money?
I just said.
No money, no honey.
What I just said.
Father MC. You didn't say Father MC. You said Young MC. I'm sure he can use a little
Father
cash.
MC would have took that money.
I know he would.
Guys, 501. We're over the break. But everybody, sit tight. Tommy, you're up next. Then we got Ron and Reginald Royal and Bernard and Pianki. There's a couple lines open. 773-591-1690.
Hurry up.
Happy Monday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here are your news headlines. Illinois lawmakers approve abortion record privacy bill. Illinois data center regulation bill, the Power Act, won't advance this spring. Gas prices remain high across Illinois. And A$AP Rocky to receive inaugural Tribeca Filmmaker of the Year award. National news from the Black Information Network is up next on Chicago's only urban talk radio station. 1690 AM WVON, Berwyn, Chicago.
I'm Kevin Brown on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network. 3 people are dead, including a child, following a gas explosion and 5-alarm fire that leveled a Dallas, Texas apartment building. Officials with Dallas Fire and Rescue say 2 women and a child were killed in the blast. 4 people are hospitalized, including 1 in critical condition. A search of the site is continuing as several people remain unaccounted for. Rosie Martinez says she's been unable to locate her sister and 1-year-old nephew.
This doesn't feel real to me. It feels like I don't know how to react. I don't know how to act. I just want to see that they're okay.
An 11-year-old boy is accused of attacking another child and pointing a toy gun at police. It happened near 31st and Mingo in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Police said a group of juveniles wearing ski masks stopped a 12-year-old boy who was then shot by a toy gun which fires gel-like balls. The child received several welts. Police Captain Richard Mullenberg told 2 News Oklahoma the situation could have been dire.
A child basically just points his gun at the officer as he's pulling over. Then when the officer gets out of the car, tracks him with the gun even more.
The boys fled but were rounded up, and the suspect was taken into custody on complaints of pointing a dangerous weapon, obstruction, and possession of tobacco by a minor. Attorney Ben Crump has filed a lawsuit against the United States on behalf of families who were targeted for medical experiments. 2 families learned that they were secretly enrolled as test subjects in a National Institute of Health-sponsored experimental RSV vaccine trial in 1965 through 1966. Ross Otto Hambrick and Victor Marcellus King both died in 1967. The new filing alleges that the United States government, through NIH, selected the most vulnerable children it could find, Black infants from low-income families, to test a dangerously high-concentrated experimental vaccine known as Lot 100. The tissue samples from the autopsies of the children informed the development of RSV vaccines, now generating billions in revenue. The deaths of Ross Otto and Victor have never been compensated or acknowledged for the role the infants' deaths played in the role of the vaccine. A California appeals court upheld a ruling in favor of a city that commissioned a Black Lives Matter mural, dismissing a legal challenge from police officers in San Jose who claimed discrimination and harassment. The mural featured images of Assata Shakur and a Black Panther, which the officers found offensive. The court determined that the mural's message of inclusion and support did not constitute harassment or discrimination. The officers' interpretation of the images as racially intimidating was not supported by the court, which affirmed the lower court's decision. For more news impacting the Black community, listen to the Black Information Network on the iHeartRadio app or log on to BINnews.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Black Information Network and on X at Black InfoNet. I'm Kevin Brown on your home for Black News First, the Black Information Network.
Sleep is not laziness, it's restoration. Aim for 7 to 8 hours a night to help protect your heart, mood, and immune system.
Your health, our community, we're WVON.
Can you feel it? Can you feel it?
Can you feel it? The soundtrack of our lives. A Ravinia Black Music Month feature showcasing music that makes us think, love, cry, feel, act, and move. Music that reflects our stories. Can you feel it? The soundtrack of our lives.
Lauryn Hill, Everything is Everything.
It seems we lose the game before we even start to play. Who made these rules? Who made these rules? We're so confused. We're so confused. Easily led astray. Let me tell you that everything is everything. Everything is everything. Everything is everything.
Ravinia, celebrating Black Music Month. Experience the transformative power of live music. Get tickets at ravinia.org.
Hey Alexa, play WVON 1690 AM.
Getting WVON 1690 AM station from iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Yep, it's a win-win. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good Monday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here's happening in your traffic right now. Dan Ryan, downtown on 95th. Stop and go traffic, 33 minutes. I-57, Ryan to I-80. Stop and go traffic, 15 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan to I-80, 94. There is a disabled vehicle. Bishop Ford at 130th Street, 21 minutes. Stevenson, DuSable, Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State, slow go, 46 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolftoe Post Office, please be cautious. There is an accident. Eisenhower at Cicero Avenue, 39 minutes. Kennedy, downtown to O'Hare. Stop and go traffic, 1 hour. And Eden to Montrose Lake Cook. Smooth sailing, 14 minutes. Your weather for today, Chicago, mostly cloudy. I have 74 and a low 55. Tomorrow, sunny. I have 76 and a low of 56. In our city, it's currently 70 degrees and cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690 AM.
From the Xfinity Studios at WVON, it's Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh on Chicago's Essential Storyteller, 1690 WVON.
Hey guys, listen. By now, you guys have heard me talk about, you're all informed on the fact that I have chronic kidney disease. And you also know that I'm definitely a fighter. This Sunday, June 7th at 9 a.m., a bunch of kidney disease fighters will be joining me. Join the National Kidney Foundation of Illinois at Diversey Harbor for their annual Walk for Kidneys. Like many of you, we just want to keep living. Join the fight, register online or raise funds. Walk strong for kidney health. Register now at nkfi.org/walk. That's N as in Nancy, K as in kite, F as in Frank, I as in, I always say idiot.
Igloo. What is
Igloo.
your
I always say
problem?
idiot.
No, don't say that.
.org/walk. nkfi.org, guys. Hoping to see you there this Sunday, June 7th.
All right.
And that's another reason I can't do the Blues Fest on Sunday.
Okay, I understand. Well, that makes sense. Guys, you're listening to WVON 1690. And yes, 63 years old. And we're still counting. It's the afternoon show with Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh. Of course, we got you all fired up. I see the phone lines. We may as well just go straight to the callers.
As promised, Tommy is up first.
Hey, Tommy.
You know what, guys, this is really not a conversation at all. I mean, it's, certain things are the principle of the thing. And basically, any performer has a right to deny or accept a request. But in this particular situation, it's supposed to be a celebration of 250 years of what? I mean, explain it to me. What the hell are we celebrating? Because if you look at it on the facts and you be absolutely 100% honest, we've done nothing but call hell ever since we came to this country. We have been an excuse or the so-called reason for every unhumanistic thing that you can come up with on the face of the earth. And the real sad part about all of it is all of the individuals who died to give us this opportunity to stand united, not at this particular situation, but just basically understanding our paradigm and our reality. So I salute those who said, hey, look, you know what? If I was coming up there and this was a situation where we're celebrating 250 years, even while we know the hypocrisy of this country, that's one thing. But if you're asking me to come up there now based upon the insanity and the absolute lawlessness that is happening in this country, not because I'm black, but simply because the Constitution has been averted and everything that's happening now is dollars and cents. And the dollars and cents of all this is not one entertainer going up there would change the paradigm of all of our black women who lost their jobs. And we ought to be concerned, really concerned, and that ought to give us the motivation for the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. And that doesn't mean you're wrong, LaDonna, but it does not absolutely mean that at this point right now, if you don't embrace look who just passed. I mean, for the love of God, man, living history is dying around here, all around us, and we're acting brand new. Goodbye.
Thank you, Brother Tommy. We appreciate your perspective. Brother B is next. Hey, Brother B. Thanks for calling.
Hello?
Yay, Brother B, you're up.
Yes, sir. Look, I need a little feedback from you and the sisters. Don't hang up on me until I finish and give me some feedback.
Okay.
We, the Black American Negro Reparation Group, we all veterans. We all have served and gave our time to our country. What we are asking some help from every one of you all out there. I'm 81. We all up in age, from you younger people, to help us to get a message to every black church in America and ask them to let's come together on Juneteenth Day and have a prayer. Let's pray to God. Those who still believe. Now, you got Negroes saying they don't believe in God. I don't know what planet they on right now. Let's pray to God and ask God to come down, aid in our rescue, and help us to fight among those who are trying to fight with us. And after that, let every head of all those churches get together and make sure that every member of that church have a voter registration card, have all the credentials they need, and able to vote. What y'all think about that? Give us some feedback.
No problem, Brother B. I'm going to give you some feedback.
No, I love
Thanks for calling. I want to give you my email address because we like to respectfully have that conversation in a way that we can vet and get on the air for everybody in a way that's respectful. So I'm going to give you my email address, and you and I can talk. As a matter of fact, once you do that, I'll give you my phone number and the email, and then we can actually just talk.
What if he doesn't have email?
He got one.
Okay.
Atiba is my email. My first name, Atiba @WVON.com. I'm not giving him my number on there, so.
Right. No, I was just being considerate because I know a lot of the generation that I speak to that's seasoned may not have email addresses.
Yeah. So Atiba @WVON.com, and then we'd be happy to show you how to get that on the air the right way. All right. Ron, wait no more. You're on WVON.
Hey, you all. First of all, when someone says all we have done is catch hell in this country, that's absolutely not true. So that's to dismiss the first doctor to do open heart surgery. I mean,
could he do it in any hospital, Ron?
No, but he did it in this country. So
yes.
I'm just want to say,
he did, but he did it in a segregated hospital, right?
But so that means we just dismiss all the things that we have accomplished in spite of. That's all. I'm saying, can you all give me 2 minutes? Oh, I'll take a minute because it was like I tell you all, but then y'all rush me off when I talked about Robin Woodson Sr. and he talked about black people. But y'all don't bring those kind of black people.
You say this every call, Ron.
Yeah, but well, okay, and you know what? So you don't have to take my call. I mean, I'm just saying.
We take the call. I'm just saying.
It doesn't just. So we just
you want the floor uninterrupted.
You just want to bring black people on to say, "Oh, this country's no good. Black people can't do it." So you're not willing to expand your contacts and get a different respect. And guess what? You say the same thing too.
Ron, I'm checking my email to see if I got a response back from the last person.
How does he
you
come
told
on
me.
560? How do all those guys come on down?
Because they go
to
to where they know it'll be a friendly audience.
Right? No, because y'all don't want them on. You want to just do the blame.
Right, Ron, I appreciate you, but I'm not about to argue with you about who we have on. If you wanted to make a comment about today's conversation, which you said nothing about, right? Should the artist take the money or not? That's what today's conversation was about. So let's stay on task and stay on target. We're coming up on a break. We can take a breather, let the dust settle a little bit.
I still haven't gotten an email from
right. But we're talking about, should these artists take the money from MAGA to perform at the celebration? Should they have taken the money? That's what we're talking about. Or you can call and talk about the leaks and offer condolences. That's what we've been talking about today. But we can have a separate conversation, Ron, about programming. And the time to talk about programming is not in the middle of the damn show.
And just so everybody knows, President Trump is suggesting that the Freedom 250 concert planned for next month's 250th birthday celebration be canceled. His comments came after several musical artists reportedly withdrew from the event at the National Mall. In a post on Truth Social, Trump proposed holding a Make America Great Again rally. Instead, he criticized the performers as overpriced and uninteresting.
And that's what we get.
They frequently complain rather than entertain. It's a lot of complaining going on today. All right, we're going to go to traffic and weather, guys. And when we come back, we'll get more of the calls on the other side.
From Atiba, Buchanan, and LaDonna Raeh, coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. It's Rufus Williams.
Mayor Brandon Johnson.
I'm going to upset you right now, and I'm looking forward to a Cubs World Series.
That upsets Titus. Doesn't bother me, not at all. I'm from that space. So
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, there.
Sorry, brother.
Weekdays at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Calling all nonprofit service providers. If you are an executive director, CEO, or development or program director of a local area nonprofit, this one's for you. Meeting the Moment is hosting its first webinar, Big Bill, Big Impact. What funders need to hear from you to avoid service disruption. Taking place Wednesday, June 10th from 11 a.m. until noon. This virtual session will offer participants direct insight into how funding decisions are being shaped and the critical role communication plays in influencing your outcome. We are convening leaders across government, philanthropy, and research to discuss funding priorities, frontline fundraising realities, and how you should be communicating to keep those resources flowing. Hear from Illinois Congresswoman Delia Ramirez, researcher Xavier Ramey from Justice Informed, Monique Jones, CEO of Forefront, activist and former CEO of the Knight Foundation, Sol Flores, and Chanel Ritchie of LL Communications. It's an action-packed hour of information that will help you navigate this critical time for nonprofits and provide you with tools you need while managing a changing financial landscape. Our Big Bill, Big Impact webinar is free, but you must register at eventbrite.com. For more information about the Meeting the Moment movement, log on to WVON.com/Meeting the Moment. Meeting the Moment is powered by the Chicago Community Trust.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This report is brought to you by ComEd, powering lives. Here's a great savings idea. Did you know you've got the power to manage your energy? Yep, from usage alerts to energy saving programs and more. ComEd has all kinds of ideas to help you gain control over your energy saving costs. Find out more at ComEd.com/energy savings.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good Monday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown on 95th. Slow go, 32 minutes. I-57, Ryan I-80, 1 minute delay, 16 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan I-80, 94, slow go, 21 minutes. Stevenson, DuSable, Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State, slow moving traffic, 39 minutes. Eisenhower, Walton Post Office, stop and go traffic, and there is an accident. Eisenhower at Cicero Avenue, 46 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare, bumper to bumper traffic, 54 minutes. And Eden's, Montrose Lake Cook, smooth sailing, 15 minutes. Your weather for today, Chicago, mostly cloudy, high of 74 and a low 55. Tomorrow, sunny, high of 76 and a low of 56. In our city, it's currently 70 degrees and mostly cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690 AM.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
All right. This Saturday morning, you heard Miss, well, I should say, let me just read the words here. This Saturday morning, join Rainbow Push Coalition Saturday Morning Forum. Time to act now. Organize, mobilize. Doors open at 8:30 with breakfast. Forum starts at 10 a.m. at Rainbow Push headquarters, 930 East 50th Street, featuring Yusef D. Jackson and Dr. Gail L. Rice and more. Be part of the movement. Now, we had Reverend Dr. Jeanette Wilson on, and she said this particular Saturday, they're going to be dedicating it to the late Spencer Leak Jr. So definitely you want to come out and pay your respects and take part in the forum.
All right, we're back on the afternoon show discussing whether or not artists should be taking money, accepting invitations to perform for Donald Trump if it is against their political views. We are going to take Pianki first. Hey, Pianki, thank you for calling.
Well, the demonstration is for America. It's not necessary for Donald Trump.
Sure.
And we stopped, and, you know, there's not going to be a separate black nation in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
If people that have those aspirations, like the Republic of New Africa, African countries that say, hey, you can come over here and have all the land you want, but they don't want to do it. Also, on the same subject, but not directly, you got the NAACP telling athletes, black athletes, not to sign with schools and states that's implementing the responsibility for creating their own voting districts rather than going by what some federal judge say that there should be an all-black voting district. So you think parents are supposed to live up to that? And somebody made mention about Kwanzaa. Remember, the leader of Kwanzaa was tying black women up to rafters by their ankles, waterboarding their vagina, and putting lit cigarettes on their body. My child was not going to celebrate that so-called holiday.
I've never heard those allegations before, but thank you so much, Pianki. And I'll do some research on that because the creator of Kwanzaa, and his name is escaping me. I hate that. He's been on this show. We've interviewed him. He still teaches.
Yeah.
And he still teaches at like University of Southern Cal or someplace extremely reputable. So I'm curious to know what those allegations are about. But Reginald Royal has been holding for a long time. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, how you guys doing?
Good.
Good. And with all due respect to Miss Raeh, she's definitely on the wrong key. The thing of it is, man, our family's been through slavery over 200-something years, and the reparation thing is so serious, you dig? And we have to stand up to make things right for our people, our children, our grandchildren, our ancestors who died and stuff like that. Put the thing out there for reparations, get it done, get rid of the credit report, $20,000 a month for a check for about the next 20 years, and the education and credit schools of our choice. Now, we're just saying that, the artists, we love the artists. I know they want to do their thing, but listen to us when we speak. Stop playing games all the time. This is going to be true America. I'm a veteran. Give us what we want, make us whole, and let's move on.
Thank you, brother. We appreciate the call. Bernard, you're up.
Good day to you both. I agree with the very first two callers, and I agree with both you and LaDonna.
Sure.
The artists have the right to either agree or disagree with performing. But on that note, I'll be glad when we get as strong and as unified. It don't take all 50 million of us, like 10 million, 12 million of us unified and have no disrespect. If you look at a Jewish person sideways or disrespect their community any legitimately or illegitimately, you are labeled an anti-Semite. I'd be glad when we get to the point that any time you disrespect us, you're labeled anti-Black, and we have the power to make you pay for that.
Well, first we got to stop doing it. We got to stop disrespecting each other.
Brother Doogie, you're up.
Good afternoon. I want to apologize to Miss LaDonna because I'm not understanding her prerogative. Have we ever heard the phrase that who you associate with is a reflection on you? So in the case with Snoop Dogg, okay, in the earlier years, hip hop, rubbed elbows with Donald Trump. They had a perception that he was the party guy. He was a great businessman and all of that. That's cool. He was not in a position to destroy a nation, to destroy people. He was not in that power realm. Times have changed. And whether it's Nicki Minaj kissing his butt to try to get a golden card for her citizenship, where she totally alienated tons of her fans, and then she still didn't get that card and made herself look like a dummy. Not all money is good money. So if you got Nelly that's supporting Donald Trump, they might think that I was rubbing elbows with this brother for a long time. They might be thinking it's the old Donald Trump from back then. Now is completely different. And this is the reason why many people have a problem with this.
Thank you so much, brother. We're just up on the break. I want to squeeze in Bill before we get going. Bill, take us home.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, some people think they know Donald Trump, but ask Mike Tyson and some of the other athletes from years ago who really knew him, then we'll know. But nevertheless, depending on whether or not the artists were misinformed as to what this concert was really all about in terms of the theme, I don't see a problem with taking the money.
Okay.
So if that did not happen, meaning they were misled as to what was going to happen versus what currently there seems to be based on the media, then I don't have a problem taking the money. Starving is not an option, in other words. The other issue is with the young lady's dream. Sometimes dreams come to you for various reasons, obviously. But sometimes they're meant to send you a message. You only realize what the message was after the event occurs, after the dream. So that's happened to me before. My mother passed, but my father came to me in a dream a week prior to, and that's when I realized that's why he was crying, because he was giving me a heads up. She's going to pass. Obviously, I didn't know, but a week later she did, and she was fine prior to. And in terms of the Leaks family, I know I grew up on 79th Street. I know Mr. Leaks Sr. and Junior. And the family has handled many of my family members over the years, my father, my mother, aunts, and uncles. But nevertheless, I feel so sorry for Mr. Leak Sr. because that family is a good family. And if you want to know how to run a business for almost 100 years, there's your motto right there. And I feel so sorry for Mr. Leak Sr. because he was a very nice man. He handled my mother's affairs in 2022 on a Friday night, 8, 9 o'clock at night. We in his office talking about how to manage her affairs in terms of insurance and all that. And again, I think of Mr. Leak Sr. because that's the last time I talked to him personally. He knew my father.
Absolutely. Thank you, Bill. Thank you so much. You know what? Overall, if you really have to think about if we keep separating ourselves from what we deem the enemy or from the administration that we don't necessarily agree with, that is the administration in power. And even if you strongly disagree with that administration politically, or whether doing you just take more risk by not having a conversation, building a relationship. People think that because they're in the same room as someone, that they're just going to rub off on them and they're going to catch something. But you don't forget when Ice Cube tried to have that meeting with Donald Trump back in 2020. And that was for the purpose of coming together, willing to talk to anybody in power. Didn't matter who it was. And what we need to do and realize is that it's not about taking the money and being some traitor amongst your own views, but it's about building relationships and then getting paid for your work and then bringing that money back home. That is why I said what I said.
Yeah, that's all. I'm going to make sure you have the last word. All right, guys, we got to take a real quick break. When we come back, Dr. Pierre Johnson, the Fibroid Slayer, will be joining us. We'll be right back.
More from Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This is Kamini Khan, certified financial planner professional. For the past year, I've been on a mission to change lives and build wealth in our community. Together, we're changing the paradigm. This year, I'm back with a new series, Wealth Strategies, Money Talks. Join me every Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. on the Rufus Williams Show as we have thoughtful discussions around building wealth in our community. We'll discuss topics like investing, savings, tax strategies, retirement, and all things money. Yes, that's Tuesday at 8:30 a.m., so set those alarms. Also, be sure to check out the podcast at WVONwealthshow.com.
Komini Khan is a certified financial planner professional with Optimal Planning Partners in alliance with Equitable Advisors, LLC member SIPC in Oak Brook, Illinois. For more information, please call 630-575-5046.
This report is brought to you by Dairy Queen. For crunch time in no time, get the DQ chicken strip basket with 4 seasoned 100% white meat chicken strips served with fries, Texas toast, and DQ signature country gravy. Get it delivered in a DQ app. Happy tastes good at participating locations.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Happy Monday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown on 95th, stop and go traffic, 29 minutes. I-57, Ryan's I-80, stop and go traffic, 18 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan's I-80, 94, slow go, 22 minutes. Stevenson, DuSable, Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State, stop and go traffic, and there is a disabled vehicle on the left shoulder. Stevenson at past First Avenue, 40 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolf to Post Office, stop and go traffic, 44 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare, stop and go traffic, 52 minutes. And Eden's Montrose Lake Cook, no delays, 15 minutes. Your weather for today, Chicago, mostly cloudy, high of 74 and a low 55. Tomorrow, sunny, high of 76 and a low of 56. In our city, it's currently 70 degrees and mostly cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690 AM.
Hey, there he is. How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand or what? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke. Are you okay? I'm having a stroke. Your face looks weird too. I'm having a stroke. Are you having a seizure or something? I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear.
I'm having a stroke.
You just need to know the sudden signs. Look for FAST, F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. Or S, speech difficulty. Then T, time. Time to call 911 immediately, because the sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery. Know the sudden signs. Face, arm, speech, time. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
She said, sugar, honey, darling, I really want to sing you too. It's just that someone's over, and baby, I really want to be with you. If by chance you let me just hold.
All right. WVON is on the road again, and at this time, we're taking you to Charleston, South Carolina, October 8th through the 12th, introducing the Rufus Williams Travel Club in partnership with Advantage International. Charleston isn't just another trip, it's a cultural experience. From the roots of Gullah Geechee. Am I saying it? I haven't said it in a while.
Like Gullah Gullah Island. That was the name. Gullah Geechee.
Geechee.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
I want to make it fancy. Heritage to the international, what he said, to the International African American Museum, plus food history and waterfront views that hit different. Space is limited, and this one will move fast. Lock your spot now. Visit WVON.com and click the Rufus Williams Travel Club banner.
All right. We're back on the afternoon show. Atiba Buchanan, LaDonna Raeh. And we're so excited to have this conversation with a dynamic individual out of Chicago. Let me tell you how I came across this. I came across the reel of his dynamic work while I was on Instagram, and I was doom scrolling at, I don't know, 1 a.m. like I am wanting to do. And I come across this young Black doctor. And by young, I mean, you know, he looks, for what he's accomplishing and what he has accomplished, he's definitely on the younger side of what you would imagine for what he's been able to amass as a physician. But he told a story about how he removed a 27-pound fibroid from a tumor from a patient, Black woman, who was also, if I'm not mistaken, either 11 or 17 weeks pregnant at the time. He was at least her second consult. They had offered her options. Any options she got prior to him would have caused her to lose the baby. Mm-hmm. Not only did he remove this fibroid, which I think might even be a record, he was able to maintain her pregnancy, and her and baby are doing fine. Stunning. And then, so as I went to his page, amazingly, he's from Chicago. Mm-hmm. I said, oh, he has to come on. Mm-hmm. He has to come on. So he's been great enough to join us today. We are excited to have with Dr. Pierre Johnson. Let me tell you a little bit about him, more than formal introduction. He is a board certified OBGYN known as the Fibroid Slayer for his expertise in minimally invasive fibroid removal, often using laparoscopic and robotic technique. He is the lead OBGYN surgeon at Loretto's Women's Hospital Wellness Center and focusing on complex gynecological surgery, pelvic floor repair, and sexual health. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Johnson.
Yes, thank you. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
This is it's an honor to have you on, Dr. Johnson, because number one, anyone who's out there on social media, we're watching your progress. We're watching how you have been a robotic surgeon, a board certified gynecologist, and you have just been killing the game. And the reason why this is so important to our community is because you look like us. And you're someone that our children can look at and say, you know what? I can do that as well. But for women's health in general, in particular, I have to ask you this. Statistics constantly show that Black women develop fibroids at a higher rate. I was diagnosed with fibroids, went back and got a second opinion, and I did not have fibroids, thankfully. But you have found the severity of this, and often these young ages of women who have more severe symptoms, they finally come to you. And my question to you is, why are Black women disproportionately affected by fibroids? And what does this research tell us? What is it that we're doing wrong?
It's not so much what we're doing wrong. I mean, it's more so about, the things that happen in our society. Just it's a reason why we are, at the forefront of a lot of the diseases and a lot of the ailments that, other cultures are not. It has a lot to do with access. It has a lot to do with, quality foods. But and fibroids in particular, if you just look at it, just for our country, women's health, just healthcare for Black people in general has been substandard. And for women in particular, it's been weaponized for Black women, and everybody has an auntie or grandmother or someone in their family that have had a hysterectomy or have had just some surgery that has debilitated them. And so those stories pass down with time. And so women of today, they hear those stories and they avoid care. And because they're in fear, in a healthy fear of doctors telling them something that is not going to be in alignment with what their goals and what they want. In addition to that, you now have, the change of guard to where we're now, Black women, I'm speaking of in particular, are now high earning, are doing, things that they weren't doing 50, 60 years ago, are now getting advanced degrees, now are even, the breadwinners of households and now putting themselves first for once. And so to that point, putting families off or starting a family off to later in life. And so when you add all of those things and you add in chronic stress, you add lack of access to care, the lack of empathy from providers and all of the things, and now you have just a snowball effect of advanced fibroid growth that can happen, in these women. And so when it's now time for them to settle down and have families and start families or what have you, now you have more of an advanced disease. It's not to say that other cultures don't have fibroids. They have fibroids at just a regular clip. We just experience more advanced disease from all the things that I just talked about.
Let me ask you this. James Marion Sims, by many, is considered the father of modern gynecology. However, that's a very lofty title for someone whose methods were so dubious, which include surgeries on enslaved Black women without anesthesia or consent. And so when we have that type of history in gynecology in this country, how important is it for someone like you to be involved in this space?
So, it's crazy you speak on him like he's one of the main reasons I do what I do, and so, in medical school, I was, reading about people like him and specifically him. And when I was in residency, understanding that he was the fathers of gynecology, labeled the father of gynecology, and then now learning how it was, reading books like Medical Apartheid, reading, different books and literature as far as, how early the medical system, the Freedmen's Bureau, all of the things that started off are, just the substandard healthcare, but starting with him specifically holding down, enslaved women, Anarcha, Betsy, and Lucy, 3 women that we know that he held down and performed, in the teens and 20s and 30s of surgeries that they held these women down, and how, just fast forward in our culture and our country now, it's all swept under the rug. Like all of those things are supposed to be forgetting about critical race theory and all of the things we're supposed to forget about those things. And, for me, I understand the historical context, but more importantly, I understand how the stories of what he's done, the real life, true things of what he's done to us as a people, how that's impacted us in present day times. And it's a travesty that the descendants of these slaves that he held down to do these surgeries are not a benefit of the technological advances that came off of their backs. And so for me, I made it a personal mission to change that narrative. I made it a personal mission to say, hey, that's not the father of gynecology. And the way that medicine is done now is not how it should be done. Everyone should have have the opportunity to have, quality and high standard of care done in a minimally invasive manner, just looking out for their healing, looking out for their future. And so that's, what I've just taken all of that, all the fuel from all of those things and just learned to be able to give back, to our culture and community. But it all starts there.
You know what? I know we have to go take a quick break, but before we go to break, I want to lead with this question. Do you think that the strong Black woman syndrome or stereotype causes some women to suffer longer than they should because they're used to pushing through pain instead of seeking help? And a lot of symptoms that may go missed because they feel like they just need to push through it. So when we come back, Dr. Johnson, I would really love to hear your take on that so that some women out there that are suffering in silence can probably make a doctor's appointment. We'll be right back.
More from Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Can you feel it? The soundtrack of our lives. A Ravinia Black Music Month feature showcasing music that makes us think, love, cry, feel, act, and move. Music that reflects our stories. Can you feel it? The soundtrack of our lives.
Lauryn Hill, Everything is Everything.
It seems we lose the game before we even start to play. Who made these rules? Who made these rules? We're so confused. We're so confused. Easily led astray. Let me tell you that everything is everything. Everything is everything. Everything is everything.
Ravinia, celebrating Black Music Month. Experience the transformative power of live music. Get tickets at ravinia.org.
Hey Alexa, play WVON 1690 AM.
Getting WVON 1690 AM station from iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON.
This report is brought to you by Dairy Queen. For crunch time and no time, get the DQ chicken strip basket with 4 seasoned 100% white meat chicken strips served with fries, Texas toast, and DQ signature country gravy. Get it delivered in a DQ app. Happy tastes good at participating locations.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good Monday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown on 95th. Slow go, 27 minutes. I-57, right I-80. There is an accident. I-57 at Wentworth Avenue, 16 minutes. Bishop Ford, right I-80, 94, slow go, 20 minutes. Stevenson, DuSable, Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State. There is a disabled vehicle on the left shoulder. Stevenson, past First Avenue, 41 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolf to Post Office is at snail speed, 42 minutes. Kennedy, downtown to O'Hare. Bumper to bumper traffic, 48 minutes. And Eden, Montrose Lake Cook. Smooth sailing, 16 minutes. The weather for today, Chicago, mostly cloudy, high of 74 and a low of 55. Tomorrow, sunny, high of 76 and a low of 56. In our city, it's currently 70 degrees and mostly cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690 AM.
Now back to Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
All right, welcome back. 63 years, WVON, that's right, and counting. You're listening to the afternoon show with Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Raeh, and on the live line, or actually you can see them on video. And if you're on Facebook, please share the show because this is good information. I know that there's been plenty of TikToks and social media posts from Dr. Pierre Johnson, who is on with us because he is also known as the Fibroid Slayer, which I love because that is a solution to one of our problems at least. But watch this. My question before we went to break was, because we are known or labeled as strong Black women, do you think that because of that stereotype, it causes women to suffer longer than they should because they're used to pushing through and suffering in silence and in pain instead of seeking help and making an appointment?
So a direct answer to that point, I think not. I disagree. I think that Black women experience pain just like anyone else. But more importantly, I think the problem that we have is misinformation, miseducation, lack of access, right? And so there are so many, because of the mistrust for the medical system, because of the lack of quality care and access to quality care, that we've now tried to create different answers and remedies that are outside of medicine that oftentimes don't work. And we look for other alternatives other than the things that we fear the most. And so I think that more so more than anything, for instance, I just was just on the internet, just watched Pastor Jamal Bryant. He had a podcast on, and he had, this guy this on is just talking all of this stuff about fibroids and going down this whole pathway and saying just a bunch of nothing. Has no idea what he's talking about. But there's so many avenues where people are speaking on things that they have no clue about. And so when you have such a healthy mistrust and fear of surgeries and doctors and things because they don't have your best interests at heart, you start to gravitate to a lot of this misinformation and start to believe that there are just other ways. And sometimes we just don't look for the true solutions because they're not out there. So I don't think that Black women are just stubborn and don't want to get care and think that they can deal with it. I think that it's more so a healthy fear and this fueled by miseducation.
And it could be chasing the bag because a lot of times when we feel like we have to go get that money and go get paid and go to work, we might just deny ourselves the help or the health check that we need. The health check-in is so real, especially with single moms and those that are taken care of. They're probably part of the sandwich community. But in to that point, are fibroids costing, or should I say, if we were to calculate the economy or the economic cost of fibroids in the Black community, from missed work, medical bills, what is it about fibroids that makes this so scary when it comes to the economic value in, I guess, addressing it early enough?
That's a tough question because it's a lot that's put on fibroids that, in all honesty, is not necessarily fibroids. There are so many other medical issues that women have, but fibroids is the most polarizing topic. It's the most polarizing thing because it's perceived as the cause of bleeding. It's perceived as the catalyst of infertility. It's perceived as all of these bad things. And yes, it can be those things, but oftentimes there are other things that are, behind infertility. There are other things that can cause abnormal uterine bleeding, adenomyosis, endometriosis, anovulatory uterine bleeding. So all of these things can contribute to abnormal uterine bleeding. But when they go to an emergency room, or they go to a doctor that just doesn't have much common sense, if they have these complaints and then they get these scans and they have a fibroid or have fibroids and they say, hey, you got fibroids, now everything is put on that. Everything is put on that you just got this ultrasound and it's an ovarian cyst when that could be physiologic. So it's so many misdiagnoses and so much misinformation that it now people are searching for answers, and fibroids now typically just continue to be pushed out as a narrative of all of the problems, and it's not always.
Mm-hmm. We have a caller, or should I say someone who has a question and says that please ask the doctor if he believes permanent hair relaxers cause fibroids.
Honestly, I don't believe that permanent hair relaxers cause fibroids. I think there can be a link to some of the increased incidences as it pertains to permanent hair relaxers, but two or three things could be true at the same time. When we see these studies, if there's any statistical difference or any statistical change in it, you can link it to something. Just like, if we say they've done studies as far as people that consume meat, right? And over the large part, women that consume meat have fibroids at a slightly higher rate than women that don't consume meat. But
because of the hormones?
No. It just is that. I mean, the statistical difference is still not that big, right? But once we hear that, now we want to link it's meat, it's hair relaxers, it's that. It's not. The truth is, I operate on white women, I operate on Asian women, I operate on Indian women that have never had hair relaxers. I operate on vegans, I operate on vegetarians that haven't had meat in their life or meat in decades. So trying to put it on one thing is not that. So it's not to say that the incidences are higher in that particular population, but it's not the cause. Just like, for instance, when you look at, diabetes, right? The incidence of diabetes is higher in obese people. However, there are skinny people that are walking around with type 1 diabetes, that are with hypertension and everything else. So just to say because you eat or because you're overweight that you're going to develop diabetes, we know that that's not true. It's similar. It's the same thing when you talk about fibroids or any of these other ailments. It's multifactorial, meaning there are other things that contribute to the cause of it than just that one thing.
Dr. Johnson, we want to give you a 60-second floor to close us out and tell us, what do women need to do if they think they have fibroids, or if they're just not sure, or if they've had them?
Sure. So, first and foremost, you have to advocate for yourselves. Like, do not limit yourself to just providers in your area, right? And so when you think that there's an issue, or when you're going to see somebody just for general care, you listen to them. And if those people are not empathetic to your needs and to your desires and to answering your questions, then you have to find, people that will be that. And that might not be someone that's in your community. You may have to travel to another city. You may have to travel to another state. But the main thing is to advocate for yourself, and don't think that you have to do something just because someone said something. You are the number one person that knows your own body, right? And so when you feel that there's something wrong, just advocate for yourself. Do your research on your providers, and that's not just a Google search. Your research has to do with you going on social media and seeing what their personal page looks like, seeing who they are as a person, right? Because a lot of that will tell the story about what and who they are and who's taking care of you. So advocate for yourself, more importantly, and listen to your body, and listen to the people that actually have your vested interest at heart.
Dr. Johnson, Dr. Pierre Johnson, thank you so much for taking time out for the afternoon show. You have been well worth the wait, and we appreciate it. How can people get in touch with your office for any questions or to make an appointment?
Awesome. So, through social media, people link with me all the time. So Dr. P23, spell out Dr. DOCTOR 23 on Instagram, as well as TikTok. For Facebook is Pierre Johnson MD. The website is www.fibroidslayer.com. Very easy, fibroidslayer.com. I am located at my office is at Loretto Hospital. Phone number is area code 773-854-1950.
Why the 23?
high school basketball number, and I'm from Chicago, so Jordan.
Yes.
That's right. That's right. Well, thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you, good sir.
Johnson. It's been an honor to have you on here. We can now close out our show the right way.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. Come back again. All right, guys, you have just got finished listening to Dr. Pierre Johnson, the Fibroid Slayer. And now it's time for us to get out of here for the day. I have to say, it's been a roller coaster today.
It has been. That's a good show, though.
It is. Well, we'll see you guys tomorrow. And on the afternoon show on WVON 1690, 63 years. Continue to share the show, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Atiba, Buchanan, and LaDonna Raeh. Bye-bye for now.
Happy Monday evening, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here are your